Okay, what? Oh, thank God they're gone. Workmen showed up the moment I went live. I look out there and they're like, oh, this looks like a great place to replace a car battery. I was about to ask them to move their car, like, please don't make begging sounds over here or whatever. And they were lifting up the car battery. I'm like, oh no. So, ooh, it started up and they're gone. Thank God. Okay, hello, friends. This is Kathryn, sick edition. Please be gentle with her. I still have a fever. I did not get any rest, and I just really couldn't. I was too agitated. This is some pretty serious weather. Out of the blue, red flag pops up for the Anvil fire down here by Port Orford on the way to the California border. That was not on anybody's radar. Not that I checked, not the National Weather Service. They kept expanding the red flag last night as I was doing my midnight catch-up stream, and that ended up being a nice chat till dawn. Hey, Irvin, thanks for being here. So I am running on adrenaline, and I was just sort of melting down with stress. I realized my anxiety was just as 5 o'clock rolled around and I was supposed to go to dinner with C-Probe's guests. The wind picked up, the new red flag things happened, fire after fire pops up. I see more aircraft, stuff working them, thank God. So they were able to take off at least on some of them, although I don't see much right now. We did have Tanker 910 down here by Wolf Creek. Is that there at Medford? Yeah, there's 910. So yeah, it's a VLAT. It's a big one. It's our favorite. Well, Tanker 911 is my favorite, but you know it's like a twin. There's something wrong with my stream settings. There we go. Okay, sorry, just YouTube was being weird. So I wanted to go live a little bit, but you know, Weird Week continues. A little bit ago, I decided to just cancel dinner plans, and the anxiety lifted because I realized that was what was crushing me. Is am I going to be caught in the middle of a restaurant and have to just put down the napkin and rush back over here? And I thought, you know what? I'll just be here with you. And this kind of situation is actually you have to be more sober, the kind that the Gray Fire was in. You know, like this could spawn a new type of Gray Fire. This is pretty damn serious. I'm going to be quite sober about it. These are 50-ish mile-an-hour wind gusts, they say, off the eastern Cascades near Wenatchee. You know, in the forecast. Other red flag warnings differed in their uh, predictions. Excuse me, I've been awake for a long time, friends. I said around 45, but it depended on which county you like hit on NOAA weather. And so sustained winds were forecast to be 35 when I was looking at this about 6 in the morning. So I just tried to get sleep, and that's just not possible. So I did busy work, but I really realized as it got closer to 4 and 5 o'clock, which is when I said I'd be here if anything, you know, emergency happened, I cannot relax. And so I don't see a crazy emergency right now unless I just missed something. Looking out the window, I don't think I have. So don't worry if any of you saw me at 6 in the morning. I was like, hope that you don't see me, guys, until 8. But I just I feel better now. I'm missing out on an awesome meal. It's one of my favorite restaurants, but it can wait. We can have a celebration dinner, I'm sure, at some time. So thank you, Irvin, for being here. The status is right now that existing fires could just explode anywhere in the pink and near the pink. So the Anvil is of concern. That is the newest, you know, red flag that they weren't really even talking about or anything in their morning operational update, which is like 7 hours ago. They were just kind of explaining what they did, and they chased after spot fires and did good jobs with them. And they went to structure protection. We've got new Modus and Veers heat detections from just prior activity, but right now I mean, when I last looked at it, that's a different thing by Cave Falls, sort of by Cave Falls, or actually more like significantly east of Cave Falls. We'll get that to that in a second. But I did not see much in the west. We do now see it. A heat detection. That's kind of like the north section of the Anvil, and that is where the wind is hitting it. It's coming out of the north and on, like an onshore type of wind. So, of course, right where the fire is on this ridge, it's getting all the fuel it needs. I wish we had a cam on this. I don't think we ever have. If there's any Port Orford webcams, you guys let me know. Hey, Christopher. Yeah, I'm doing better now that I'm actually live and ready to cover anything that happens. They've been pouncing on some smaller fires during the day. We have something near Wolf Creek, and I think Tinker 910 splashed it, which is great. It's not exactly on this exact same area where Wolf Creek is on I-5, because that would always worry me. It's one of my favorite places. No, wait, okay. I didn't say that. The devil hears me, and then those places get fires, right? I mean, I don't care about Wolf Creek. Yeah, who cares? Boo, ghost towns, history. Pfft. I don't give a damn. So, oops, excuse me. Let me find it. Oh, heck. I have the wrong map mode. So, Wolf Creek, Oregon. There, it's so small that unless you're zoomed in, you're not gonna ever notice it. So I've noticed some veers on. Let's go to satellite. I'm so surprised I don't see a heat detection. I mean, it would still be there. Like wind goes off, it stays there for 11 to 12 hours. So I'm hoping they're making good progress. I've got a whole lot of catching up to do on watch duty. The Morgan Fire is what's significantly east of Cave Falls. Right now we have the Turtle Cutoff Fire. Let me see if that's Oregon. That's Washington, Stevens County. Updated 13 minutes ago. It's a little bit north of the red flag stuff. So what we are monitoring of great interest is anything, of course, in the pink, but near the pink is like near red flag conditions. It's not that different on these maps, you know. So like Madras is probably getting significant wind with the Trout Creek thing fire. And so we're going to monitor that. We've got Tanker 910 out of Madras, which is awesome. I mean, that's about one of the biggest we have anymore without the 747s. So that's pretty cool. But this was a bit of a surprise, this red flag being on the southwest coast. And so, I mean, it's very close to the Smith River North here. So they lowered an evacuation zone last time I glanced at the phone. I was going to go live just a little bit, and what delayed me was so weird. I was dusting and cleaning up around my desk in preparation for trying to rearrange the monitor. Hey, unofficial, how you doing? Unofficial says, a helicopter landed at my school today. Oh, awesome. It's a super very rare moment. A sheriff police helicopter. Well, did they catch you, or were you able to escape? It flew like at 100 feet next to the classroom I was in. Well, you captured it, right? And please don't tell me it's vertical video, because then I don't know you. Hey, Kaguya, how you doing? Yeah, we got red flags and high winds and hold on to your butts. But we're ready to cover anything that happens. So this was a little bit of a surprise, but like I said, we only have heat detections on the north part of the Anvil right here. And what they said in their morning video, which is 7.5 hours ago now, they didn't mention anything about weather. They just said we're rushing to do structure protection, which is awesome. And we saw some heat on Modus and Veers, and they say they ran around and successfully caught spots. It's pretty awesome. Now, this 78 fire is the one that's sort of by Wolf Creek. north of it. It was like 2 acres here, and I think, yes, that's Tinker 910. Tinker 910 splashed it. We don't have a cam either, though. Oh, look at that beautiful bird. Ah, it's pretty. That is some sweet photography. Can you imagine being on I-5 right now? And wait, negative. That's an MD-87. That's our orange fish. Silly me. I mean, Tinker 910, a DC-10 would have a big engine on its butt, on its tail, on above the aircraft. I'm sorry, I just assumed. I don't make mistakes. I was testing you all. So we call them the orange fish because of the orange gills are on there. So that's one of the few MD-87s actually still flying. It's agile. The DC-10s are somewhat impressive the way they can climb, but the MD-87 has magic powers. Like it dives into canyons and does near vertical climbs. Like near San Bernardino. I mean, it gave me heart attacks when we were watching that live in those camps. This is great. So this looks very close to I-5. And guess what? You read my description, it's frightening. I mean, sure, that could just be some normal thing, like dragging chain, overheating engine, pulled over, blah, blah, blah. But remember on my broadcast before last, so see night is 17 and the 17th in the wee hours. That's when we were about wrapping up the stream, and Nick Giles, who's near Myrtle Creek, said, "Oh my God, scanner is exploding. There's somebody going up I-5, pulling over and lighting fires." That person lit about 5 of them. It's a bit chaotic on the scanner. I've been trying to search for Douglas County News. Haven't found any reporting on it, which is just bizarre. But multiple witnesses described the same person with a green flashlight, cutting the headlights, lighting blackberries on fire and that sort of thing by the side of I-5 and I-99, and then peeling away like a madman, burning that rubber. And the fires were far enough away from them that I was thinking, yeah, that's suspicious from the get-go. Unfortunately, nobody got a plate that we could hear, but there's another I-5 fire. Pretty close to I-5, and so I wonder, is this some new thing? I'll be very, very curious if it's a new ignition that occurred now, like today, or could it have been smoldering since that guy ran around? Hey, Cogito, how you doing? I'm glad you're here. Because sometimes, I mean, he lit it on a cool night of like 54 to 59 degrees with decent humidity. I mean, you can light dead blackberries on fire easily. It depends on the ignition source. It's a road flare or something. But if it wasn't that intense, a person could have dropped cigarettes or something, and it can sit there in bark dust and be invisible and that sort of thing until wind hits it like today. So this is possibly arson until we are told otherwise. I'm keeping my eye out. So, yeah, Regina Corbin says the winds here in Spokane with a red flag warning, but all is well. Knock on wood. A lot of dust in the air. So we have to be sober about today. I have a very nervous energy. I'm running on adrenaline because these are the exact same conditions, like say that the Gray Fire needs that the Gray Fire needed to do what it did up by Spokane, and the Oregon Road Fire too, that everybody forgets. So what's that? The Wind Song Fire. Okay, so it was updated 3 hours ago. Yeah, unofficial. Your job is important too. Try to get Washington info because almost nobody covers it. How do you say this? Is this Natchez? 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 I don't know. I've never been near Yakima. But what wind does when it goes over mountains is it rides it like a roller coaster. So it goes on finds the end of the Cascades, it can shoot down. And so we have 10 to 15% humidity. Don't smile, it'll crack your lips. And look at the Columbia River Gorge. So we have red flag all the way to the Dalles. These conditions are worse than when we had the explosive Newell fire in Klickitat County. These conditions are worse than when we had the Tunnel 5 fire. Any little spark will be a mega problem. What's that? What are they hovering around right there? Okay. Dorian Highway 12 fire on the Columbia, the world's most notorious windsurfing capital and all that. Forward progress stopped 2 hours ago. I'm sorry. I already saw that, but I didn't connect. So, isn't that scary, Washington people? Yeah. Now, what I was saying this morning, and it still holds true, is what they're harvesting in a level of harvest, like I guess it's a sequence, puts them in grave vulnerability. Because you look at this area and it looks very, very irrigated and green from the air, like in our satellite pictures. But that could be taken in spring when it is green. And this time of year, there's a point where you cut the irrigation off, you let it all get dry, and then you harvest it. Hay and alfalfa and all that stuff. And this stuff, just I don't know how it works, if things are immediately combined and baled on the spot, or if they sit out waiting to be baled. I know you can't bale it if it's moist at all, otherwise it spontaneously combusts due to a really weird process. But the state of Washington and Eastern Oregon, I think, is quite critically vulnerable right now because it looks like that. So I don't know when, how, or what this started with, but that is pretty close to the Columbia. And let's see if we can get a cam of some sort. Regina says we've had a few of those as well in Spokane. Are you hearing that crow? I'm going to throw a boot out the window. Hey, enough of that. Okay. So, another thing I was worried about. Shut up, bird. I need a rubber band shooter. Okay. The crows are so intelligent, they're crafty. They'll seek revenge. Maybe I should rethink that. So this Trout Creek fire is burning near habitations, and this was worrying me because I knew the wind would shift it as it would try to go back towards the building. So this is near Madras, just to the north. It is not far away from the edge of the red flag, which basically starts at Shannocoe and goes to the Canadian border. So what frustrates me is, like, people see the red flag warning, and it looks like you hop over a line and you're in the clear when the conditions are quite similar. Say the wind is 8 miles less or something predicted, they won't include that area in the red flag warning. I think they should do it in a different way and have like an orange flag. And like, here's definitely where we're going to have some critical fire weather. And then here's the maybe around the periphery, like a bullseye, different colors, so that people will be a little more aware, because it's just like it's on or it's off. And then people go, what? We're in it too. And I don't like that. Besides, if the weather changes a little bit, something shifts north or south, then people are caught with their pants down. People need to know this stuff. They need to know if they can harvest today, or if they can use machinery, or if they should call the crews and be like, yo, day off. I don't know. So this particular fire, an update we had an hour ago. So we have 25% containment on this Trout Creek fire, which is 10 miles north of Madras. It's been more accurately mapped at now 1,550 acres. That was a weird one because it didn't threaten buildings at first because the wind was out of the southwest. It was trying to go to the northwest, away from the buildings. And then when I saw the shift in wind forecast for today, hey, did they push down? Did they push down? No, they didn't. Okay, I'm sorry. Shannock Junction. And Shannock, yeah, it's still the same area. I thought they enlarged the red flag. Yeah, I'm fine. I saw the wind would shifted back and it might blow back towards these buildings, but they did have all night to prepare the structures if they needed to. But we had a really small acreage, and then they went 1,600. What? Okay. So we have Iron Sky out there. And that's right. We're going to see if we have any sort of camera over by Kennewick. Right? Hey, Spinny. How are you? Joe Johnson says, just got here. Got to go back later. You mean you got to go now, or you'll be back later? I'm going to interpret that as that. Michael Jones, welcome, Sherlock. You can only make hay while the sun shines, and it's got to be dry. I see. Yeah, one of the fires in Shasta a couple years ago. It started on I-5. I was thought to have been a hay transport open bed, like semi, and it may have spontaneously combusted because going over Shasta Lake's I-5 bridge, that's a notorious wind tunnel. It kind of gives truckers the heebies. Like, because if you're mounted up high, you can look down and you're like, that's going to be fatal if I fall over. And just let's just lock my elbows and drive straight. And so the wind over Lake Shasta may have fanned up and given enough oxygen to the moist hay in the center of the bales to have spontaneously ignited it. But I never got a clear confirmation about that. The news articles are still around from that era. But it can happen. So it's very important not to bale hay when it's wet. The horrible structure fire, one of the largest Oregon's ever seen, unfortunately, was blimp hanger number 2 or number 1 at Tillamook. Marvel from the 40s. Old growth wood. They rented it out for storage. And at Tillamook, they have a lot of cows, right? Tillamook cheese and all that. And they stored hay in a wooden structure, a historic structure. And so I was visiting Portland. I don't remember too much about it, but I was like, Mommy, what's that red glow in the sky to the west? And she's like, I don't know. Maybe it's a wildfire. And somebody goes, that's a structure fire. It was like the equivalent of a 12 alarm. One stack echo, and it could hold 6 blimps in it at once, 6 Goodyear-sized blimps. So don't ever store hay in a building you don't want to eventually lose. All right. So east of K Falls, south of Paisley. Oh dear, Paisley is probably like not again. Not again. Seems like every year that I do Firestream, this tiny community in the middle of nowhere has a fire up there in the Fremont National Forest. This is scrubby stuff, but the tiny community is, I wish we had layers that show terrain. So it's at the base of these cliffs. This is a sheer cliffs. Paisley is lower, and it looks down the barrel of a gun because you got the drainage pointed at the town. And so they saved their own town again and again, year after year. So they had a devastating fire here, which I want to call the Cougar. I don't know if anybody in the town of 80 residents or whatever knew we were covering the fires, but they did an excellent job of protecting their place. And I think that was 2020, and then 2021 they had another one. And is there a legend for fire history? Not legend, a layer. Yeah. Let's make sure. Dark mode doesn't matter. So there's watch duty. You can see how close they got to their town, and they just strategically fired the cliff and save their place, even though it looked really dire several times. Like this fire that had devil horns on it, caterpillars, antenna, just went and then stopped right there, right as the rainy season happened. I think at the end of 2021. But I would love to go there and say, how do you guys do it? They just have the tiniest teams out there that get abandoned because they're not populated enough to be high priority. So they work with very little, and they go up there. Their trees are quite small, but they've got chaparral and stuff. And so it's the black, oily smoke that just runs, and it's a plateau up there. It's very, very fire prone and dangerous. So the Morgan fire is in there, but they've probably got quite good lines to still maintain. Okay, the 78 fire over by Wolf Creek is a 100% wet line, and forward progress has been stopped. Firefighters will remain on scene to mop up. No further updates unless conditions improve. And boy, this is the best image of a plane dropping water. Sweet. It says it's submitted by Anonymous, but Anonymous, man, you got some skills. I mean, I would have tweaked saturation a little bit, but that's pretty dang good. Nice and in focus. I think Taker 910 as well as this MD87 dropped it, but we don't know what was the origin. Like I said, somebody drove an I-5. Wasn't it the wee hours in the morning of the 17th, and lit fires and got away with it as far as we know. About 5. But firefighters pounced on everything. But this could be the kind of thing where it was such a cold night and not really conducive for racing fires or anything, that person may have lit something and it just smoldered until winds of today fanned it up. Or it could be some accident that just happened. I am dying to know. So don't be too surprised if anything near Myrtle Creek, Sutherland, and this general region might have fires just kind of pop up today because they're invisible if they're things like bark dust or things that smolder. Like bark dust is 100% visible unless it's nighttime. You'll just see a weird darkening circle spreading slowly. You're like, why is the bark dust going dark brown? Wind picks up though, and oh my God, fire! Somebody help! It'll do that for hours. I know that because an idiot friend of mine lit one with a cigarette. He tossed a cigarette in the bark dust. I said, mate, no. And he goes, it's totally fine. I retrieved the cigarette, put it out, walked it away, put it in a bottle, shamed him. Well, he goes out for a cigarette, unbeknownst to me later, and tosses it in the same place. All of a sudden, there's firefighters pulling up, and I gave him that look of death, like, did you do that again? Maybe. Oh my God. The neighbor lady was not happy. But the firefighters I spoke to said, yeah, look, it's still going, actually. And I went, what? Because it was daytime, completely invisible. And so they were like, yeah, watch it move. Wow. So if you have bark dust around your house, that is absolutely not fire safe. It's not good. What you call that? That is not good defensible space. Oh no. So creosote and chaparral. That's right. Yeah. People think creosote's on the telephone poles. It's not that. It's flammable. Creosote's like starts chimney fires. I don't know what's on telephone poles, but it's not what people think. So what we're doing is we're counting the moments until the red flag expires. And so let's check with the National Service, the mega red flag, going to Canada. So it stretches for a wee chunk of southwestern Oregon's coast, Port Orford to the border. And oh, we got the tankers taking off again. There's the DC-10. There's a DC-9. We'll see if we can listen. Do we have any channels that have a lot of people listening? Because that's likely to be the one that might have the aircraft. Curry County had nothing. Medford, maybe. There's Portland. Just trying. The word special, like fire special. Medford, maybe. Medford Fire and Rescue is 18. That's the only one. Jackson is 82. Let's just see what that is. Sorry if I blast you out. Lisa, hello. Lisa Spacek says, where's the biggest fire today? Thank you. Existing or the new ones? And which state do you care about most? Because right now, this is a surprise that the coast went red flag. It wasn't like, oh, fire weather watch, and then we'll upgrade it. It just went, bam, red flag. So I thought I was playing this radio. There we go. I didn't click hard enough. So I hope volume is not going to blast your ears. I'm going to start it low. It doesn't do mine. With 70 people listening to Jackson County, maybe somebody there is picking up the pilot chatter. So the new ones are still pretty small. By big, like big, active, and scary. Let me see if that radio's, or like threatening right now, or like acreage. I think acreage is still the bedrock, but it and with my layers are wrong. But it's done. It's a done deal, according to them. Historical fire permits. Okay. So the lookout is 25,000 and a half acres. Bedrock was 31,000 and a half. This may just be police stuff. Pete's Lake is in the middle of nowhere. It's like campground evacuation stuff. And this is, it's trailhead, little furry stuff. It's been around. They're just burning landscape. They're just gonna do Hail Mary and hopefully stop it when it finally reaches a road. It's a wilderness, so there's no real roads. So they're just over here by Milk Lake, presumably, and other places. There may be some trails to some snow parks. It's a snowmobiling area, I think. Hiking, whatever. So 3 minutes ago, they said Kapka Snow Park is closed beginning tonight to allow for firing ops, because doing it right now would be madness. It's probably, pushing southeast, like all the wind is blowing. What we're extremely worried about is new ones. Anywhere in the pink, we're going to have a racing town or racing fire. Just as bad as the gray, just as bad as the Oregon Road. So the only one that we're going to look at some cams. Okay, Washington State Department of Natural Resources just said estimated 200 acres, but it's 30% contained. They pounced on that with the aircraft. That's great. Wallula Junction. Oh, the Indian names are amazing. Yellowpit, Yakima, it's like Kennewick, Pasco. And Oregons are like kind of square. Oregon, Boardman, Hermiston. I think Washington has more swag. So Moses Lake, that's Wild West right there. So we will continue to monitor that. Is this right next to? This is, the style of vegetation. Anything east of the Cascades is mostly like that. Either high desert, tumbleweed stuff. and it's not green right now. It's time to cut off the irrigation and do the harvest. So Washington has lost a huge amount of its harvest due to these fires. One by Spokane, Clickitat County. Anything that sparks in this general region could get out of control in the blink of an eye. So if anybody sees any smoke, anything, you go out and scold your neighbors for being an idiot if they're doing anything idiotic. I do not hear anything on Jackson County Police and Fire, just police stuff. So I'm going to turn that off. So we are just going to count until the expiration of the red flag, and we shall now find out when that is now. And I'm going to do my radar. It's easier to find your info fast, and it's got that beautiful, and the beautiful animations. It'll show you lightning and everything. We have active lightning in northern where Idaho meets Canada. But look at this wind. If we zoom out, you can see what's pushing it around from the Pacific. So you got your small craft advisory and your sneaker waves and don't turn your back on the ocean type advisories. What's in Miami? Do not trust the ocean. I mean, this is rip current stuff. Is that the remnants of Lee just kind of hanging out at Quebec? Okay, there's a low risk of something near Florida. So, but look at the crazy lightning around Colorado. You got thunderstorms all the way down there. Now this where it says H might keep them away from the Oregon border, but there's some by Susanville right now. We might see some awesome thunderstorm and lightning action on the cams. Wow, Susanville and Tahoe, Pyramid Lake. That's shaking the windows. We saw some crazy airbursts the other day. I was not aware that thunderstorm activity was even forecast for today. I guess I was tunnel visioned on eastern Oregon. So a lot of your bets over there, we could have some California action that I didn't even think about. So if we click on the red flag, this is the best thing for your phone. It's even more elegant and cool looking on the phone. Just make sure you get the correct one, the one with the right looking logo. So red flag warning in effect until 8 this evening for wind and low humidity. So west winds 15 to 25 miles an hour. It depends on which county you're going to click on. See right here, here's another different one. It says west winds 15 to 25, gust up to 35 in the Kittias Valley. West to northwest, wind 25 to 35, gusting to 45. Relative humidity in that area as low as 20 to 25%, but earlier today they said certain areas can be as low as 10. And humidity in the teens should make you sweat. Humidity at its 10 should make you sweat bullets. Even low wind with humidity in the teens can make fire do explosive things. And this wind, like a precursor wind, began at 6 in the morning. It was already pretty breezy, and as soon as the sun reached its zenith around 1 in the afternoon, then it started super drying out everything. This is not shaded. This is totally different fire behavior than, say, in the woods. Because you have your dew and your nighttime humidity, and the forest canopy is going to shade the ground and keep it all nice and cool. Nothing like that, Eastern Oregon, Washington. It's a high desert. Okay, some geologists are going to argue with me, but okay, it's basically a high desert. That elevation is not sea level. You got more extreme weather and tumbling tumbleweed stuff. And the wind tunnel, that's called the Columbia. So it's just pray for no sparks. That's what that is. So we are at 6:30. We will wait for 8 o'clock, but this sort of thing, I need to check, like, just because the red flag expires at 8, it doesn't mean like everything is completely safe. Oh yeah, right here, like here, Okanagan Valley, Relative humidity down to 15. So when the winds calm the heck down, that's when we can feel a lot safer and breathe that sigh of relief. The only thing we have going for us is it's a cool day. If this was hot, I would be having a heart attack. Like all day, I've been anxious as they expanded and expanded and expanded the red flag. So it was like when the wind started this morning, that was not this fierce. That started the drying out process of all the vegetation. The sun baked it in the easy bake oven. And then by the time you get the high winds in the afternoon, it was like, bing, your fire is ready. Just add spark. I need some cool sound effects, guys. So when is the wind going to die down? This I would like to switch to a different app probably for the schedule. True NOAA weather app by Pandemonium Software is easier on my phone to check out because this is more of like a day thing. It's 10 days at a glance, blah, blah, blah. This is more like, how's my drive to work going to be? But NOAA weather by Pandemonium Software has got your back for like more minute by minute stuff. So I'm gonna. They don't have a page for it. It's only on the phone. So let me look at that. Tell me guys which fire you want me to look at because it's just I use you guys as my guide. I'm here to serve you. If you think this is like my fun hobby, I'm like, oh yeah, I like looking at fires. Hell no. So you guide me. What do you want to see? I'm not a news reporter. I don't have a schedule. I just play whack-a-mole with the new info. Okay, so the forecast. Oh, I have Madras up just from earlier. It's 75 degrees there right now. In Madras, it is 75 degrees. Wind speed is a constant 14 miles per hour, gusting to 18 miles per hour. Direction, north-northeast. So the wind gusts will die down almost on the dot at 8, according to NOAA weather. That's interesting. And by midnight, it's 5 miles an hour. By 2 a.m., it's only 2. I hope that is true. So now let me go back to the view where you can see me. So that would be weird if the wind just turned off like a spigot at 8. Would it? Okay. So let me do Yakima. Yakima. I would expect the winds would kind of, take a while to die down. Okay, it is currently 70 degrees and clear in Yakima, Washington. And it feels like 70 degrees. Relative humidity is 28%. Wind direction is northwest. Wind speed is a constant 10 miles per hour. And it was updated 31 minutes ago. So it has the red flag for Yakima, same song and dance we saw. So I'm going to go to the more advanced current conditions, hourly forecast, wind. By God, it's saying 18-mile-an-hour wind gusts at 7 o'clock. At 8, they're missing. And the wind speed is a constant 15, but just 8 o'clock goes to 9. Now it'll be bizarre if that's what happens. So they continue to fight this one. They've got a forward progress stop, right? I forgot. And aircraft turn the tide. They really do. They're right next to the Columbia. That's what they got going for them. Yeah, they had a 30% containment, 200-ish acres. Okay, we're not out of the woods yet, but the clock is ticking. So maybe the fire weather should be sweating bullets because it has an expiration date. I'd like to know what's going on in Puget Sound's Olympic Peninsula here. This gave me the chills because I wanted to hike in exactly the place where this fire is. No joke, I was planning it this spring because there's kind of a secret up on that mountain. Well, an open secret, but a neat thing to show you that's historical. You'd be like, whoa, dude, if I could get there and film that. I mean, this is pretty dang remote. But it looks like the lightning that struck there on the 28th or whatever of August, from what I gathered from the internets on the Olympic Peninsula Park website, they went full suppression on some of them, but kind of stopped. Now, some of these are remote mountaintops, but some of these fires just stayed on the mountaintops, like at 5 and 8 acres. Exploded the other day when wind came off the ocean. So, like, if they thought it was great to let it burn, I don't like that policy. Fire has to be introduced very carefully in a planned manner and babysat. It's places like this that haven't probably seen fire in many, many years. Okay, so Smitty says the Lloyd fire south of 78 fire on I-5 shows it stopped. Okay. I didn't even know that existed. Now, this is not a... Okay, 30-ish acres 4 days ago? But we had crazy hotspots here on Cal Topo. So where are hotspots now? East K Falls, over here by Paisley, we got this, and this is the Morgan. And I saw some aircraft checking it out earlier, 5-ish. And so we've got 2 big aerial tankers running out of Medford. And they dumped retardant on I-5. This is going to be one of my favorite pictures ever. Dumped retardant on I-5 as the traffic drove underneath, like right next to the shoulder. Can you imagine just seeing like an ancient airplane from the 80s just flying low pass over you, and then a couple Olympic-sized swimming pools worth of red retardant mists over your windshield, and you got to turn on the wipers? Like, I bet you'd feel that rumble in your steering wheel and like vibrate your car, man. So we're not going to get a lot of info on this. The nice thing about the Olympic Peninsula right now is that it's late in the season. We're almost to the snows on those high elevations. So a lot of times in a normal year, they'd be like, all right, yeah, they'll last a week. Snows usually come by the first week of October, but this is El Nino. This is when Pacific Northwest and California is kind of a wild card, but oftentimes you have Indian summers and like very dry Octobers, and the Santa Ana type winds come for California. That season is October through January. So those are the big, horrifying winds that come out of the Nevada desert. It's geographic, not like global warming in nature. And so the bite your fingernails off nervousness is whenever we're in a El Nino and we have Indian summers or late summers where it's still hot, like mostly through October, vegetation's still dry, and then the Diablo or the Santa Ana winds hit, and you have the 75 plus mile an hour wind gusts coming over the Sierras from the Nevada desert. And that's when you have the explosive, insane Bear Fire, the Paradise Fire, Dixie, not Dixie, that wasn't a Santa Ana, but the kind of damage it does do. And it can affect all of California, everything from Redding, Shasta, everything. Those winds get stuck in California, and they try to escape. It's like high pressure coming out of it's a jet stream pushing everything into the basin, and there's only 2 ways for the wind to really escape. It's past Mount Diablo, San Francisco, and it's down by Santa Ana, Santa Barbara, and Santa Clarita down here. And so they're the same wind phenomenon, basically. Like if the jet stream is blazing here, they're pouring over the Sierras of both areas. And so you can have insane fire behavior anywhere in the state where there's fuel. So the whole state bites fingernails off if it's still dry throughout October. Santa Rosa burning down, Bangor and Loma Rica burning down. This was the same night in October 2017, and that's when I lost my friend to that fire and woke me up. Then same wind event happened the next year. November 8th was Paradise. Remember? Then I was wide awake to fire danger. So we have a couple others, like the 3 buttes that just don't get updates. This is in the Coast Range in Lane County, or by Florence. And I have no idea what's happening with it. I don't think there's any, few if any cams in Oregon. Let's check out. Hey, Cogito, what do you think of all this? At our station, he says we got separate deliveries. The diesel was clearly marked from the gas, and our smarter grass rigs got the gas. Oh, I missed something. I'm sorry, friends. I thought I was on top of chat. I could try the Pains. Who's Pains? Oh, Jackie Marie, I'm sorry, did not see you. I'm in Deer Park, Washington, about 5 miles west from where the fire line was on the Oregon Road. The winds have really calmed down here now. I'm so happy to hear that. We're counting down to 8 o'clock when they're supposed to be turned off, according to the strange way that the forecast is. Okay, I've forgotten to eat dinner. I was going to go with the guests over that I barely got to see that C-Probe had. They'll come back, they say. What is this? Oh, smeared lens. Okay. Scared me for a second. Let's see if we've got any cam. Nothing there. Of course, nothing by Wolf Creek reading. Oh, this one is looking towards the Morgan fire over by Paisley. Okay. But let's see 1 hour time lapse. Oh, don't tell me it's rotating. Oh, no. All right, I gotta let this play out. Then we'll. Okay, yeah, I'm sick with a fever and nauseous. That's not good. I was gonna say, tell me when it stops, guys, but it's like I can hear you. Oh, it's the vomit comet. Oh, you guys must have been quite scared with the Gray and the Oregon Road fire. That was some insane stuff. I was so sad I couldn't be there. It is so hard to figure out when to take a day off. Oh, there you can see the column. That's significant. For this far away, to see that Paisley's on the other side of that. This would be looking almost due east. Yeah. Oh, I hate when it does that. North of Clear Lake Reservoir. So, in Tule Lake. So, Tule Lake, fun fact. I'll rotate again. They discovered a new disease and named it after that lake. We are living in an era where we have not discovered all diseases, guys, that have been around since the dawn of time, or for a very long time with mankind. I startled to find out that nobody's really looking for new viruses and bacteria and stuff, like not even if you donate blood or anything. Hey, there's the fire again, and it looks bigger from a second ago. All right, let's check out its wind. Let's check out what's going on with the Morgan fire. Morgan fire, that's up in the hills, wind direction. Okay, so it'd be going away from Paisley theoretically if it's going to be wind driven. And up here they had lots and lots of fire before 2020, 2021. So they'd have relatively fresh lines, but it would be very quick moving. And you could see that big smoke column. It's piney, scrubby, chaparral stuff and fast moving. And it's at high elevation and it can pour over cliffs and get places. But Paisley is located up here. Here. And then Hot Lake Hot Springs, not Hot Lake, It's really sweet. I can't remember its name. Summer Lake or something Hot Springs. One of the best kept secrets is up there. But they're used to this. I hope they get some aircraft. Let's see if any have gone there. Okay. Tinker 104 is a DC-9. What does a DC-9 even look like? Try to get my attention, guys, if you are on the computer, because there's so much chatter that doesn't involve me. Type it like this. Do @ and then capital KATH, and then you'll see my name pop up, and it's a button to click. Then type your thing. It does a huge orange highlighter thing, so I know, hey, Broken Fish. Like, Broken Fish used my name, and you can't see it, but it's bright orange for me. And then I'll know you're talking to me. This doesn't work on a phone, though. I mean, you could try, but my mods say, please help me. Also, if I'm ignoring anybody, if you have, it's accidental. So Regina says, I was very anxious this summer over by Spokane. Yeah. We also had an arsonist that set 3 spot fires around my wooded neighborhood, causing a level 3 evac just before the gray in the Oregon. Really? Were they caught before the gray in the Oregon? Because that was not a lightning event. It was just under investigation and all that. I have to eat, though. So, and I'm sorry, I forgot to put a PayPal donation link. Thank you for donating. Some people did earlier to my food fund. We want to stay donation based. No ads, BS. This disaster is brought to you by HelloFresh. I mean, maybe HelloFresh is great. Maybe I'll even like it, but I think it's poor taste to interrupt this stuff. I would never want to. Okay, wait, my phone is doing something. So let me make sure it's not a new fire. If I do not stay on top of the phone notifications for watch duty, it quickly reaches 24, and I found out with like Samsung's for sure. You just won't get any new updates. It taps out. And that was my big problem. I was getting too many. And it won't even tell you, like, oh, please clear some notifications. It'll just stop telling you about anything. Okay, updates for a Black Hills fire, but that was updated 25 minutes ago. In Thurston County has 100% containment. Yes. That's Washington. Now, we're not out of the woods yet. It's not 8. It's 6:45. Any little spark in that pink would be serious business. But, man, the aircraft are pouncing on stuff. So we also want to keep an eye on the Morgan fire. This currently the wind would not be pushing it towards Paisley, the nearest town, but it's still pretty obvious on the cams, like distant big smoke column. Let's check out the the lookout fire on the cams too, and then we'll check out California. It's so strange that there's California. Isn't that pretty? It's so strange how red flags stop at the border. As if, welcome to California. Your fire weather is not welcome here. Please, fire weather, you have some fruit. You have to turn around. Fruit is not allowed in California. You can't take it. Like they do that. They took my bananas. I'm trying to keep invasive species out, but I'm like, can I eat my banana now? And they said, no, ma'am, you're blocking traffic. Hand over the bananas. Yeah. Okay, enjoy the potassium. Okay. So that's the rotator. But bear with me, I've not slept since my last spot. In fact, I don't remember when I slept last. It's just one of those anxious days. Stop moving, chair. Okay. So, Regina says, yeah, she was caught and she's currently in jail. The one that started the fires was Supposedly, the accused has started the fires near. Okay, I'm gonna get myself in legal trouble. Okay, they apprehended the arson suspect near Spokane prior to the outbreak of the Gray and Oregon fires, but I do believe they're still under investigation. But hey, Jack, hello. Jack changed her name. I wrote it down, but then I forgot, and I'm like, where are my friends? Here all the time. I think that's funny. Go eat. I have to order in. Does it look like I can go cook right now? So I have to. I haven't dusted off Uber Eats for a bit, but I can do that. And so when the wind dies down, we can breathe a bit more. Right now, it's cool. It's like 70 degrees and cool. But the insanely low humidity, the fact that wind started blowing pretty significantly at 6 in the morning, and then and direct sunlight further dried everything, is a recipe for disaster should anything spark. So, Sugar Hill, what's that? Huh? What's going on near Alturas, Northeast California? The camera has pivoted on something. I don't see a watch duty. Let's look at heat detections. Right now we have red flag at the Anvil, but we can't listen to anything. There's no like Curry County thing. Oh yeah, the lightning is all over Susanville. This may be a new lightning strike fire. Goldfish mode, guys. Sorry, I'm a little more distractible than ever. So this could just be lightning and rain, like torrential rain. Let's do a 1 hour time lapse. It was colored pink and orange. I was like, oh no, it's a fire. It's a new fire, guys. Okay, alert the presses. The camera just looked at it. So let's see the moment that it looked at. This is by Alturas. Isn't that Mono County? Tule. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you about the new disease that they found at Tule Lake, like new to science, relatively recent, like 20th century discovery. Okay, so let's try to figure out which way the camera's looking now. This 1838 is when the camera pivoted, and boy, it just explodes. If that's all smoke and not just, wow. Yeah, I think it is. I thought it was like rain sweeping across, like we saw. So I think maybe lightning has probably just started a fire. What's 18, I said? 1838, I'm sorry. 1818 is over here. That's not the time. 6:38. It's like 20 minutes ago. Oh, right here. It's right here. And it's on Sugar Hill 1. And oh, it's actually looking to the northwest across Goose Lake. It's on the Oregon side of the border near Lakeview. So there you go. And within 20 minutes ago, it started. So was the discovery typholitis? No, they named it after the lake, Tule Lake. So science only really discovers and looks for like new viruses and bacteria and stuff when there's a mass die-off of either people that has an unexplained thing or animals. And so some muskrat trappers went up there and said, "What? Where are the muskrats and why are they all dead?" I forget what year this is. So they collected carcasses and identified tularemia. And yes, humans can get it. And it's probably been in North America for quite some time. We now know, because they did contact tracing and tons of research, that HIV was in the wild in the 1920s. One of the earliest patients was in Kinshasa. Africa. And so people were dying from the 1920s until the, 70s? And nobody noticed because it looked like everybody was dying of everything else. Influenza here and whatever. It went unnoticed until a whole bunch of hemophiliacs died from having blood transfusions because that's what they have to have. And so, no, it wasn't homosexuals. It wasn't anything like that were the first victims. It was innocent um, people just innocently trusting blood transfusions to be safe. And then, boom, it spread, and it's a bloodborne illness. And so the thing about the sexually transmitted diseases, they can be transmitted. Every disease can be transmitted by sex, but it's classified as a bloodborne. So the thing that my biology teacher was telling me was, you don't know what's out there now that's undetected and circulating, and only when it affects a massive group of people and there's some weird anomaly and somebody takes a look. You never know what's out there, so be safe in all ways. And even if you're handling animals, I see like veterinarians gloveless and touching animals that are sick, and you don't wear the gloves. Always wear it. No matter what you do, it's biological, and be safe. You know what I mean? So the same thing happened with, what was it? Lyme's disease. It's been around since the Copper Age, at least, or the Stone Age. It was in Europe, and the Europeans transferred it to America. Ticks of the New World bit Europeans, and everybody was, they called it rheumatism. I have ancestors and like stories of them contracting rheumatism, like unexplained joint pain and fatigue. But it wasn't until a whole bunch of people got high fever and went to the hospital all at once that was discovered. So can you imagine prehistoric diseases? And we're just now figuring out they exist. So I met one of the guys who was involved in the tularemia discovery. It was mind blowing. So do we have a watch duty? Is anybody here one of those watch duty updaters? Every time I see Tule Lake, that's all I think about. I think they called it rat fever. You guys ever heard of that? Jackie Marie says I was evacuated during the Santa Rosa fire. Yeah, I remember you. Weren't you here in 2020, right? With the glass fire thing? Thank goodness my house didn't burn down. My sister's entire town of Greenville in California, yeah, burned to the ground and lost everything. Yeah, I thought Greenville was saved. I was awake for 3 nights during the Dixie Fire. I streamed the Dixie Fire for 96, 97 days in a row, an average of 18 hours a day. I don't know how I survived that. I took about 7 days off. It's because I just thought the Dixie was going to end. It kept getting near, we might get a handle on it now. Then nature brought up the winds, and then PG&E started the second fire called the Fly Fire with another power line down. And what stopped the Dixie? Rain. Started like the 13th of July and ended in mid or late October. Blazed across 5 counties in the meantime. Yeah, I went to sleep confident that all the lines of retardant that we watched live, the airplanes dropped retardant in front of it, and I was confident that it wouldn't come down at a Round Valley Reservoir. And I said to everybody, okay, I can finally sleep. I wake up. I thought I was having a nightmare when I checked the phone. This is real. No, this is not real. I grew up around the west shore of Almanor. It's yeah. So I know intimately everything the Dixie destroyed. So, but anyway, I filmed a little bit here where Greenville was. But the electrofire happened on the 4th of July last year, and so I couldn't film when I wanted to and meet the people there that I wanted to. I had to drive John Stoker home because he was near the electrofire, so I drove all night, all day from Lassen County all the way to El Dorado County, through Tahoe and Reno and all that. It's been a bad couple of years, guys, but the weather is weird because it's El Nino and La Nina. So I'm sorry, I was going to check watch duty. It's not on watch duty yet. We see clearly the new fire. It doesn't have a name, of course. Not Bright Mountain. Here on Sugar Hill, one Devil's Garden. I just noticed that name. Let's see a 3-hour time lapse to see if we see any like lightning. We are seeing it on my radar. There are thunderstorms rolling across Plymouth County as we speak. Susanville, where Greenville was, Indian Valley. I think around Tahoe. Yeah, see the big rains in the distance and all that. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Whatever. Thank you, Jackie, for sharing your story. That's the night my friend died at Santa Rosa fire. It got all the press because it was a bigger event, but PG&E started 3 fires that night. Pretty much they were all fatal. Early October, wasn't it like October 10th, 2017? So I used to live near Bangor and Loma Rica, sort of. And so our family friend that still remained in that area didn't make it. It's just, it was what a hell of a time. So what is frightening is the Paradise Fire happened with El Nino. Partly because it means hotter and drier late summer. So we will. I do not believe fire season is near over at all. Not for California. The worst fire season is winter. The more people I can educate about that, the better. Because it's almost beautiful. Let's see lightning on my radar. Tell me if that fire gets reported. I might as well report it myself by taking a picture of my own screen, I guess. I tried to report fires on watch duty before, and it says Eric cannot do it without a photo, as if I'm there. And I'm like, I wrote this elegant, it's on this cam, it's on that cam, and it goes, Eric cannot report, include photo. So we've got massive lightning around Susanville, Pyramid Lake, everywhere from Portola. So unstable thunderstorm stuff. I would imagine that that's what it is, but I'm actually not sure that we have had lightning in that corner. I don't know how to rewind anything like this. So like Goose Lake is where that's at. I'm trying to put the crosshair there. It just does its loop. And so we know it was more than 25 minutes ago. Now the camera's looking at it, but I'm kind of disturbed it's not there. So you would know, Jag. Are you reporting it? It's on the Sugar Hill, number 1. So haze, skies mostly clear. Temperature is 42 degrees. Chance of precipitation 10%. Man, 42 degrees. The high desert is cold. Wind gusts are 17 miles an hour. Wind direction from the northwest, of course. So, wow, look at Susanville lightning up by Eagle Lake. Yeah, chance of precip, very good, I'd say. Let me see this torrent here. See 3 hours, but I knew Auntie Faye is what the whole community called her. She was one of the oldest living people that had a cabin in Almanor. And when I was a kid, I said, "Do you know much about the gold rush?" She goes, "Yeah." You'll email me? Okay, thank you. Somebody says some of them you can't rewind when the segment is gone and it's gone. Okay. There's a Lightning app that I never fully understood or used that I think you can, if you guys will remind me. Jack says I volunteered at the fairgrounds taking care of the evac horses during the tubs. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Desi went to his stuff. So I was live covering the glass fire thinking, oh God, we have red flag near Reading. We've got red flag near Shasta. Please, PG&E, do the right thing and turn off the power. Turn off the power. And as I was covering the glass fire at Napa, everybody said, new fire. It was the Zog. I was like, you sick son of a... Ugh. But do subscribe. And if you guys will hit the like button, I would really appreciate that so people can get the info they need. It helps us rank when people are searching for us. Really appreciate. If you hit the subscribe button with the little ringing bell, you'll know whenever I go live. And this part of the channel is for fire. And if I ever do some random stuff like history topics, like I want to go to ghost towns and film them, let's do a 1-hour time lapse, then I will make a separate channel so that people don't get annoyed. You know, this is the one for fires and fire topic. So this is my 3rd year of doing this, except for Paradise, which kind of counts. I wasn't speaking when Paradise happened. I didn't have a good computer and a good microphone or anything. I was just monitoring it because I was hoping my brother would be found, and he was, thank God, but he lost his house. So I was monitoring it myself and then saw that there was a go live button on YouTube and went, oh, okay. Desiree says she has horse therapy favor. J Cat says, I remember the house fire call that you made. Which one? Sorry, it was that the one where I had to call 911 because I saw it on the cam. And which year? As he says, I was very lucky. Yeah. So a lot of people have just moved out of California. You can't stand up. My brother ended up going to Florida. My dad couldn't stand the hills. He went down to the valley. C Prob has now moved out of the Bay Area. Desi bailed out of the Bay Area too. Like, you know. Let me look back. Did anybody ask me something that I did not see? We've got this brand new fire. I'm waiting for it to pop up on watch duty. It's not yet. So I'm puzzled. It's about half an hour old. It's on the Oregon side of the border. Let me figure out what county that is. I want to say Harney, or Mulher. It could be Klamath. Okay, so where's the border right there? Do we have a heat detection? It's Reno. Now we have lightning rolling around Lassen County right now, and near Tahoe. It seems to be mostly wet, but it could have just sparked this by Cave Falls. And I don't know if Klamath County goes that far. It's either Lake or Klamath County. One or the other. So we have it on our Sugar Hill one right here. So we go to that hour time lapse. I mean, they pivoted it and they know this is just a weird delay. Let's look at flight radar and see if say an aircraft is hanging out. Thank you for your kind donations. I'm a silver subscriber now to Flight Radar for everything. I should put the PayPal link up. Oh my God. Anybody seen Strange Reverend? He's missing in action. You don't have any aircraft except over at the Morgan. I would have expected one of these to peel over there, but it may be too thunderstormy for pilots to feel safe. getting to that corner. Okay, that's watch duty. I have to order food and put up the PayPal link. You can hit the anybody who would like to donate, even a buck helps right now. You can hit the super chat button, or super thanks after this broadcast. Don't sweat it if you know don't want to right now. But PayPal takes almost nothing, but YouTube takes 30%. Somebody donates $100, I lose $30. Yeah, well, more than a quarter of my income. I just can't believe. But YouTube doesn't differentiate between news and public service. It's just I try to hit the button for my stream. Like what best describes it is it's news and politics. I'm the most not media, not political thing around, but it's not like I'm entertainment and makeup demonstrations. I guess that's most relevant. Hang on, let me ask Alexa what the heck she just did. Oh, whatever. She's giving me a. Did you know that there's a chance of rain on Tuesday for Portland? Thanks. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Let me get the PayPal link. Uh, you know what? I would love to name fires. The person who sees them on the cam should get to name them. I'll suggest that to Watch Duty. Okay. So yeah, let me get the link. I'm sorry, friends. Forgot to tweet as well. So thank you for donating. Donation link. PayPal donation link. I just had to buy a new keyboard because I wrecked mine. Long story. Hey, aircraft is peeling away, but they could be just, oh, they took off near this airport. So the fire is right next to the airport at Lakeview where these two air tractors are fighting the Morgan. Huh. Makes me wonder if the Morgan is lightning based too. It would make sense. We have lightning just south. So I'm going to pin the link and so pin the message. So if you click on what the pinned message is, then you'll see that. And they take almost nothing, which is great. So the best way to support the stream though is just tell your friends. Hit the subscribe button. The ring bell is if you want to know every time we go live, which is usually to cover fires and crisis. Occasionally I'll be on the road and I'll be like, check out this frozen waterfall or something in the gorge. But mostly it's covering fires. So JCast says I have a fire across Goose Lake on Caltobo. Yeah, that's where it is. It's like maybe you weren't seeing it when I showed. Sorry, that's not it. Showed the cams. It's Sugar Hill 1 on the California border, but it's looking to the north to Oregon. So this is on the Oregon side, like so. It's right next to Lakeview Airport, sort of. We have these other cams, Blue Mountain Modoc, but it took off running this fire. And that's beautiful. Look at the cute little like adobe or whatever that is. I bet that's the outhouses for the fire lookout tower. And why is it so short? This thing's gonna burn down if it's too short to be safe. Get rid of the tumbleweeds, God. Oh boy. That Subaru Outback is in danger, man. This is not defensible space near the actual fire tower. I'm gonna. Oh, yeah. So it's looking the wrong way. Blue Mountain Modoc 1. Blue Mountain Modoc 2 is got eyes, I think. Let's do a 1 hour time lapse. Oh god, no. Okay. Not the vomit comet again. Okay, it stopped. Okay. Alright, which way is which now? That's west. That's the setting sun. So northeast is where we would see the fire way distantly across the lake. But this is too short to really see over the horizon. What is the point? This is a decorative lookout tower. Look at the vegetation right next to it. That could shatter all the windows, the heat that distance away. What? What? It is our outhouse. At first I thought it was a cute little adobe house, and I went, oh wait, that's right, lookout towers don't have a bathroom up there. Males have an unfair advantage, that's all I gotta say. We gotta use the stairs. Okay. Well, Sugar Hill one is still our best. Look at the mystery fire across the Oregon border. JCat says Cal Topo is showing us 45 miles north. 45? 45? That's not that far away, no way. That can't be 45 miles. Wait, let's use a measuring stick. Okay, where's the border? Sorry. Border. Measuring tool. Distance. Oh, damn. No, it's 31. It's 31 miles. As crow flies. I was looking at kilometers. Were you looking at kilometers? Because it's 45-ish to 49 kilometers, depending on how you want to measure that. Man, that is a super zoom on the camera then. No wonder the other one can't see it. So let's measure the distance as the crow flies from K Falls. No. That's the Morgan Fire. That's the Morgan Fire. It's not on Caltopo. This, wait, could we be looking that distantly at the Morgan Fire? The Morgan Fire started earlier than this. Okay, that would make sense why it's not new. It can see 30 miles away? Okay. I feel a little bit silly. That's probably the Morgan Fire. Okay. But it's 30 something miles. That explained the no heat detection because that amount of smoke would have it. Sorry guys, I am sleep deprived. But that's an impressive level of zoom. 30 something miles? Okay. Well, back to our fire weather watch, guys. It's 7:17 p.m. Counting down to 8 o'clock when we can start to relax. Because look at the insane wind. All around here, Eastern Oregon, Eastern Washington, down to the Dalles, down to the Anvil fire. We gotta keep monitoring. See, Tinker 104. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I just couldn't believe that stubby little tower could see over the hills and be that far zoomed. Okay. Thank you, JCat, for confirming that. Jackson says that new start been reported. I was just wrong. Sorry, I'm in silly mode then. So, Cogito Ergo Sum says you should be the anti-PGE candidate. PG and E, Cogito. Remember, PGE is Portland General Electric. They are much better than PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. They don't blow people up with pipeline explosions. They don't have any movies about them starring Julia Roberts as she uncovers cover-ups from PG&E. So PG&E has a very long PG&E has a long history of killing people. The San Bruno gas pipeline, blowing up a neighborhood, and then they realized that their electrical chemicals, for transformers and whatever it was, were leaking into a water supply of a town and then giving families rare cancers. They're like, their response was, shh. And so someone who wasn't an attorney but wanted to kick ass, who was played by Julia Roberts in Erin Brockovich, she took on PG&E, the mega corporation, and won in court. Quite an inspiring victory. I got to see that movie again, but I mean, Julia Roberts is just awesome. Now, I want to know, where is she now? Like, why not hold PG&E's feet to the fire now after they killed so many people? The Zog, Paradise, Bangor, Loma Rica, Santa Rosa, others. Started so many others. And she's off in the East Coast. So, yeah, you have that on DVD. Yeah, that would be cool if we could arrange a watch party. I'd have to get the studio's permission, but to have that as a watch party, wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, we could all enjoy it together. So, but powerful politicians like Cough Governor are taking their money and just blaming everything else but them. Talking big talk about, we'll hold you accountable if you kill more people, and then taking their money and allowed them to not go bankrupt by allowing them to raise the rates on the victims to pay out the victims. Oh, good news, friends. As we call him, Gruesome Newsome. He's like that. So, update, they found the missing elderly guy in Linn County. This is so wonderful. So, this is the Pete's Lake fire, which is now spreading, but it's really middle of nowhere stuff, southeast of where the Lookout fire is. We're going to look at the Lookout in a second. Now that the mystery of the quote new fire was just the fact that I forgot cameras could zoom really far. Oopsie. We're going to look at the crazy storms by Susanville and Lassen County, because that's just going to be like a lightning show, perhaps. This is the Pete's Lake fire, but this is like wilderness, so they can't do anything about this. They're just going to wait till it hits the road, and then they're lighting fires in front of it to see if they can speed bump it. But this is the Three Sisters wilderness, so remember, if there's no roads, firefighters can't respond, can't put it out when it's small, and you lose giant chunks of the wilderness. What are they going to do? Walk into a death trap, and you can't escape at that walking pace. They no longer drop hot shots out of the sky into death traps. We lost too many crews that way, 20, 30 at a time. Well, and learn a lesson. So if you want to save the wilderness, please say to your environmental group, please, we need fire access roads. Please don't be anti-road. That's just, we're seeing the Lookout explode and get huge, and all this old growth lost because there's no roads. Same with the Beachy Creek fire. We lost the Opal Creek wilderness because they let all of the roads grow over. And they even scolded the firefighters and said, please don't come back here. Fire's natural on the landscape. An old growth forest has nothing to fear for fire. Just let it burn. And then somebody tried to save the town of Jawbone Flats, and that was fatal. That was fatal. That was 2020 for you. Mega fires are the only thing that can kill an old growth fire. I'm sorry, old growth forest. We got to get serious before we lose too much more. So let me. Oh, that's weird. My earlier broadcasts. This is here because I realized that if I wanted to do a comedy propaganda poster, it would be Chinese Smokey the Bear, Smokey the Panda Bear. We had a debate this morning about whether or not Smokey the Bear could hold a shovel and whether or not bears have thumbs. And I said, look, a grizzly bear could hold a shovel because we went around looking for Smokey the Bear as a let's end the stream on a high note, like a with the Smokey the Bear song, and I realized there's a whole bunch of Smokey the Bear commercials that are disturbing. Like Smokey the Bear is a man. He has man boobs, man hands. He holds a shovel and he has a pot belly and he's shirtless. It was a nightmare. I just wanted to cheer everybody up, and I was like, I'm gonna have a bad dreams. I was trying to. Yeah, you guys want to see this craziness? Like, he's got man boobs. It's creepy.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
It's super creepy. Like,
Hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
and they didn't like make Smokey. They didn't explain this very well, but the idea is that anybody can become Smokey the Bear. Get your Smokey on was a later tagline. But this is terrifying. This is not he was originally supposed to teach children about fire, and it's like, what? Why does he have man fingers and little fingernails and breasts? Yes, it's creepy. Hey, Debash, how are you? Thank you for your kind donation. I'm about to order food. I was hoping to get a little more of donations so I could order better food. What we have, it's 7:25. We're just waiting till 8 o'clock at least. The red flag will expire for Eastern Oregon and Washington. I don't know about the one by the Anvil. So there's a raging debate this morning could Smokey, somebody says, you know what, Smokey has to have human hands to hold the shovel. I said, look. Grizzly bears have very human-like hands. He could hold a shovel like a cigarette because grizzly bears are big. And then somebody goes, he was a black bear, right? I went, oh, right. And so I said, what about Chinese imitation Smokey? They have a thumb for their bamboo thing, right? But you see how human-like that is? I actually have a story about that. Yeah, I'm sure he could. See, that's a black bear. Smokey could definitely hold a shovel without being a guy with man boobs. And also, why? He's a male, right? Also, he's a black bear. Why is he brown? Bears don't have pointed ears. Is he a werebear? Like, I want to parody this, and the guy answers the door and just screams and runs. Like, oh God, you look out to see this. Why does he have gray lips? Like, my neighbor just turned into a bear. And dispatch says, sir, it is Halloween. Did you by any chance drink questionable punch at a party? What of it? I was trying to cheer everybody up. This is why I couldn't sleep. And there's even creepier ones from the past, but we'll revisit that. I mean, this is the one I know, the one from the 30s. I guess he was brown in the 30s too. That doesn't make any sense. But some of it is extremely creepy, and we will revisit that a little bit later. Like, I had to explain why panda bears with thumbs was on that tab. I feel compelled to explain. Okay, so I'm sorry, I lost my tracker. There we go. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to jinx anything. Not going to jinx anything. Did Watch Duty and inform us of anything new? We are just getting new information, announcing it as we get it. Oh, nice. I like to hear this. In Napa County, the Dollarhide Road fire at St. Helena Pope Valley, where the glass fire was in 2020, extinguished as of 20 minutes ago. Yes. Good news for you, Napa folks. Okay. Now, the one that they were circling with the aircraft, okay, it's civil twilight. Sun has set. Aircraft will not return. But they did a really good job with this. We still don't have a new update, but I'm feeling pretty confident that if they're saying the winds will die down, we already had news that Spokane's winds were dying down. It's a good sign. That's why the red flag expires at 8. So we got 32 more minutes to go. Let's just hang in there. I love these Indian names. Atalia and Walula, Yellowpit. I'm going to assume those are Native American names. But how are you doing, Smitty and Desi? I'm sorry, I should have proper greeted you. I'm hyped up on adrenaline. So what should I eat, guys? I'm going to try Uber Eats for a bit. And Dabash Mode, thank you for your kind donation for a pizza fund, but I think I need some sort of beefy, like not too spicy oriented or something. I want to be able to keep the good food down and all that. I still have fever. Don't ask me what that's about. I'm not going to jinx it, guys. I'm not going to say what I'm saying. Let's see if the Anvil fire expires, if their red flag expires. And we won't talk about that. I thought it was a new fire, but it wasn't. I don't make mistakes. I just test all you guys. Okay. Oh, weather tab. So this is the weirdest red flag I've ever seen. Like, there's fire danger here, but not here. Here, but not here. Until 11 a.m. Tuesday on the coast, though, guys. We could have a very active Anvil fire, but that's the thing we can't really monitor because there's no cams over there that I know of. I mean, Gold Beach could have beach cams. I don't think they'd be pointing at the land. It'd be at sea. Larry says, "Oh my God, thanks for a very big donation too. You already did this morning. So wonderful, Larry. You into bash mode, and I'm so grateful. I can get anything I want. Woo! Thank you. You keep us ad free and going. I do not have a job, folks. I quit everything to be here all summer and a big chunk of the winter, if possible. It looks like we'll have a late summer this year, and I'd like to travel and like actually try to do stuff that I missed all summer doing. But El Nino means we got some pretty bad fire potential for winter in California. So this is describing thunderstorm potential still in the Tahoe area, which I think we need to check real quick. Oh, that's right. We were going to look at Lassen County and Plymouth County cams to see if we see a show. We had incredible lightning down here by Susanville and Pyramid Lake. And wherever that is. Let me put it in land mode for you guys. At layers, you can understand where we are. There. Bieber. Is that really a town? Bieber? Like Justin Bieber? How do I not know this? I know where Alturas is. Bieber? Okay. Okay, so let's check. Got lots of lightning at Harlong Junction and Susanville to Portola. Reno too. It's so sad that two planes crashed at the Reno Air Show yesterday. I saw Blanco Lario channel was going live, and I was like, oh, I won't watch that. I've got work to do, you know. It's the last Reno air race too, and there's too many. Reno's grown too much. There's too many risk of people dying on the ground, and they ended with that horrible note. There was smoke column reported, and I was like, at Reno, and I went, oh God, the air races. That's what it was. And then we'll explore the creepiness of Smokey the Bear over time. See, here he has partial human fingers. That's like cat in the hat fingers. Okay, I gotta look away now. I don't want to vomit my food if I eat good food. Okay, cams. Now, the lookout has got to be getting some wind over the Cascades. This is our movie camera. Live is there's twilight. This is a live image, so the wind is dying down quite a bit. This is not time lapse, it's live. This wasn't in the red flag area anyway, but you know, it's the top of the Cascades. So let's time lapse, say 12 hours on the lookout today. Wow. This is not looking to the east like the previous cam was. This is looking more to the north. To the west of the lookout fire, kind of by Eugene. It's doing the smoke dance. The layers are so eerie. You can see how the wind was booking it today, and so you can see the lookout fire here. Now we're looking to the northeast and the proper view. So it's here. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I did this wrong. Yeah, my bad. But what I was showing you was the camera in the wrong position. As soon as I put in the right one, I made it so you could see it. Okay. Let me rewind. See how it's in the wrong position? I was like, smoke. Okay, that's nice, but the lookout fires are here to the right. That's its western edge. Behind the ridges. This is highway, the McKenzie River Highway. Whoa, man, it kind of bucked us off there like a Mustang. So now we're looking proper to northeast, and you can see that this wind does affect it. You get some puffs and stuff over there. 7:35, friends. Red flag expires in eastern Washington, Oregon at 8, but at 11 a.m. for the coast. So problem is with the Anvil fire is I cannot monitor it in really any way except just checking official websites. The Curry County doesn't even have any scanner radioactive, so you can't listen to that. And that's eerie how there's the smoke. Boy, it really got active today. What we're seeing there is as soon as I don't know what layer that is, the inversion layer, lifted off. You see this white stuff? That's the fire found fuel and it made. It's about if you look at combustion, it has smoke as a product, CO2 as a product, also water vapor. So after the clouds go away, that's vapor forming over it and just over it. That is eerie. And so that's what you see though when these fires are really cooking, you see the white puffy stuff above the smoke layer, whatever layer. I would love for a meteorologist to explain to me how that works. Cogito, have you seen this before, man? Hey, Irvin, welcome back. Jay Cat says we have the Northern Lights going on here in central Ontario. Neat. Jay Cat says, look at the pretty yellow on the radar. Yellow is heavy rain. Okay. Jay Cat says she's tripping on some shrooms. Wait, who? Okay. Oh, the chick. Okay, let me go back up. And thank you to Bash. I'm about to try to figure out what I should eat. Well, Smitty was asking about the fawn fire suspect, the chick that taunted the police. I believe she taunted the police. And they said, why did you just start the fawn fire? It almost killed people. It took out neighborhoods in Shasta. I think there were injuries. And she goes, I had to purify water for drinking. They're like, you're next to Lake Shasta. And the campgrounds and neighborhoods and faucets, and there's a construction crew over there. They could give you a bottle of water. You are next to Lake Shasta. This is bottled. There's something called Shasta soda. You do not have to purify bear urine to drink it. She goes, I had a lot of fire and purify it. And here in the bushes, away from prying eyes. Yeah, right. So we make fun of that. Big Al, the bartender, he said the bear urine shot that he created was a big hit. It's one of those served flaming. It's yellow. So she was unfit to stand trial at first, and then she was declared fit, and that's the last I've heard. So I do not know when her trial will begin. But boy, she almost killed so many people. We were hearing live on the radio, people trapped, elderly people saw flames racing towards their homes. Firefighters grabbed them, threw them over their shoulder, threw them in fire trucks. They lost everything, retirees, a lot of older folks, and barrier and mass. So, yeah, Regina, we can begin to feel more comfortable. So looking back here at the chat, guys, tell me what fires you want me to cover and look at. This is the live movie cam of the lookout. It's flipped into infrared, but this one is no good at like true nighttime. It's only good at twilight. It's not a nighttime camera, I guess. So you can see the ticking clock in the corner. It's live, but it's just very peaceful, the section it's looking at. So let's look at our heat detections and see like what the lookout, not lookout, not the cams. Hang on. Let's look at CalTopo and see what various fires are doing with their heat detections. Looks like the pilot fire in northwestern California is the only one with a red, like as of 10, 12 minutes ago, heat detection. This has been sitting like that for weeks, and it's not a factor. The one east of Klamath. So it burns readily on the Del Norte cams. The one's called Del Norte, but it's not a factor. I'm glad to see the Smith Complex North is dead on arrival. So I guess they had a lot of smoke that just kind of kept that from being too active. Still got the red flag, so here's our Anvil. And we do have, as of 1 minute ago, flaming red heat detection. So the satellite passed over 1 minute ago. We turn on the all satellites. You can see where the red on the sprinkles, where how it kind of spread last night. The Veers, you have to look at, actually this afternoon. Veers passed by at 3:30 in the afternoon. So it was active here by the fish hatchery on the Elk River. And on the north area, because that's where the wind would have hit it, right there on that ridge. So to the southeast, at, let's see, what time is 1500 again? So that would be 2:50, so I guess basically 3 p.m. Pacific. It was quite active, and remember, as we have, it's still active in the same spot. See, the big square is 2 minutes ago. What a huge margin of error. It's just heat somewhere in the square. And at 3:30, you can see the more pinpointy veers dotted around here, like an old sign in the middle of nowhere that somebody buckshot, So these their margin of error is a circle. The snowflake is not where the heat is. It's just the center of the margin of error. What, phone? Now we're here talking about fires, but last night I expressed big concern that the Cascadia subduction zone fault has been a bit restless. 5.8 happened within 72 hours ago, west of, Vancouver Island or Oregon or something. And then there's been a series of 4.1s and such, and 3.8s previous week. A 5.8 could generate a tsunami. I checked it immediately, and it was not issued. No tsunami warning was issued. But we got to remember we're in the Ring of Fire. I will cover that sort of disaster too, and I'm now a member of ODART, like CPROV is, Oregon Disaster Airlift Response Team. He's one of the volunteer pilots who will fly in relief to any tsunami damaged town or one cut off from civilization, from road access and whatnot. Hey, what? Sorry, my phone. Okay, so we have a road reopening. That is watch duty. Okay, so the one in the Columbia River, in the armpit of the Columbia River, I mean the bend, right? Wallula Junction in Walla Walla County. They updated WADOT, Washington Dot, updated that the US 12 outside the Tri-Cities is back open in both directions. So they must be pretty confident about it. So we still have red flag where the Anvil is and technically where the flat fire is. With the flat, they super black line where the communities are a long time ago. So I am a lot less concerned about it. I am a bit concerned it could go south where they never black lined it. It's just wilderness. They have no roads. They can't do anything about it. Even though this has been burning since July. Remember, write your congressman and say, I will not vote for you if you don't allow fire access roads. We need to save the forest. Slightly concerned about it, but they've done a lot of work to reduce the heat with aircraft. But steep, rugged terrain, high winds, you know the drill. Marginally concerned, but not for life and limb and property type stuff. So if we go to just the heat detections from GOES, can't believe the lookout didn't trigger. That was pretty nuts when it was generating clouds. So I guess fires can generate clouds. Learn something new. This is Morgan, which happened today. So this is Paisley is the nearest community over here, and something Hot Lake, not Hot Lake, but something Lake Hot Springs, Summer Lake. Is that Summer Lake? Let me see. It's a wonderful historical place to go. Summer Lake, yeah. They're used to this, and right now the wind is not blowing it towards them. Their community's up here. But you see the terrain now when you put on a Forest Service map. They do have extensive roads, and that's how they've saved their town time and time again, 2020, 2021, 2022. The way the winds go in this place, time and time again, load. Fire like lightning will be down here in the plains and rush up here onto the plateau, and like all the little scrubby, cutesy, wannabe trees, like mini pines, I guess you could call them. That's it. I'm going to call them mini pines. They're not weaklings. They're mini pines. See, I'm good at marketing. I could take your struggling nursery and turn it around for you. I only have a humongous fee. It's all in the marketing. Mini pines. Yeah. So they have very good access road. They've improved it for the last 3 years. They know the drill. Some aircraft hit it. So I expect some time now when we go to the. Oh, we still have an aircraft. Tanker 104 is going somewhere. It's at almost 10,000 feet, so it's probably relocating. In the Morgan Fire, we have no updates. It says 50 acres. By the amount of smoke we saw, I would imagine more. A couple hundred. Random guess. I just can't think that a 50-acre fire did that on a cam. So we will wait for updates on the Anvil, and no news is pretty good news. Well, look at what it does. Look at what it does. Not clouds. Remember, one of my thumbnails was like a crazy mushroom cloud. Still here. See, no roads means no can do. You just have to wait till it gets to a road, and unfortunately, the nearest roads are communities. We see these dead trees in landscape. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You see these around your community, especially an elevation above you? These little dead sticks and stuff are on fire, and they just drift in the wind. Light fires all over. You know what? It's, I don't know how we possibly live there. Most human beings get uncomfortable after a while if you just can't see the horizon. We don't like living in bowls because it's can't see danger coming in from a distance, and flash floods and storms or anything, fires. This is like it's freaky actually. Um, I would hate seeing that out the window. Jeez. I would hope that they'd make defensible space like a wall around their town. I hope they consider that because this is nightmare mode. But hey, what do I know? So the wind would likely try to push the fire to the south, but we don't have any much alignment. That would make the fire spread the fastest. If the see right now the ridges are like a cross, and then the fire's like crossing the T. The wind goes up and down mountains, sure, but the fastest rate of spread. It's like you're on a freeway, right? And nobody's around, so you could speed. You're on curves and up and down hills, and then you're in that blessed straightaway. You can see for miles around. There's no animals, there's no danger. You can gut it. So that's if a fire has got the slope in the same wind directional line, it will gun it. But right now it's speed bump mode, like up and out, up and out. Now the weird thing about this mode is it can go east and west because some of the wind will ride up and down, and some of it will like bam hit the brick wall and then divide like water to each side. So we saw this with the Caldor where there was a south wind, like the opposite direction, and people kept telling me that it was a supernatural fire or a government project or because fire can't spread against the wind. I'm like, dude, those are canyons. Some of the fire goes over the hill, then it reaches the hill, the wall on the other side. The steeper it is, the more likely it does it, and it goes. It can't go through rock. It'll either some of it makes it over, some of it goes left, some of it goes right. So that made the Caldor tremendously difficult to fight. It was spreading because of one south wind. It was spreading in 3 directions at once, like a big trident or a pitchfork, or whatever you want to call that. I hear sirens. That is a fire truck. Okay, let me figure out what that is. Now I like an app called Pulse Point. An earthquake just occurred. It's at Petriola, California. No, west of it, off of Eureka. See what I'm telling you about the active fault skies? earthquake just occurred right here. Literally. You see this triangle thing? That's default. This triangle, it's like a pizza slice. It happened right here in the wedge. Ugh. Hey, speaking of the devil, superstition. What was I doing? I was trying to figure out that there's an app called Pulse Point, and if your community participates in it, you can like hear sirens and then check it and see, is that a house fire? Is it a medical emergency? It even tells you when people are stuck in an elevator, and public services are like getting that cat out of that tree, or a kid's birthday party or something if they're not busy. So the value in this is that it'll also tell you if somebody needs CPR and you can provide it, like near you. It'll go, bah, and you might just be able to save a life. So there's a map mode, so you just click on that. Here's Portland. I don't know if you guys see any of this. You can see one of the fires. You see the fire emblem? The one in the west side of Portland is as an odor investigation, like somebody smelling gas, perhaps. The one on the east side is a fire at 2506 Northeast Multnomah Street. It began at 7:30. So nobody needs CPR near me. I'm sure one day somebody might. Huh. What? Okay, I'm sorry. That's an older fire. I was going to say that. That's freaky. And then they added this thing where it has built-in scanner radios, so you could turn it on, and if it says fire, they'll explain their response real quick. So it's great. I tend to use the regular scanner radio app. And thank you for your kind donations. That helps me to get the premium ad-free version. I can record it in my pocket, and sometimes I've responded and filmed fires. The craziest thing I ever heard when I was alerted to something like that was street racers west of Portland in a little town called Beaverton. It's not little, but we're in a residential area, and they collided, and I've never heard terror in like a sheriff's voice before, but he said flames are 15 foot high coming out of this garage, and there's screams of help inside. So the street racers collided. One guy went into the garage. The other car spun out, and but all the one of them was not on fire. But of course, the one that started the fire in the house was. I believe he struck the gas line for the water heater in the garage, and that was the explosive 15-foot tall flames. And I mean 15, like taller than the actual roof eaves of the house. And the sheriff and neighbors rushed in, and first responders. And I was driving near that area. It was 2 Thanksgivings ago, right before Thanksgiving. And I showed up and I backed way off because I did not want to ever smell a human being who had perished that way. I do not want to know what it smells like. Don't want to know what that looks like. But I wanted to capture heroism, you know. And thank God, as I was driving closer, there was a bedridden man who was the one yelling for help, and they pulled him out. And then another old lady was there. And I was just sure as I got closer, I couldn't even tell what was in the garage. It looked like the most twisted wreckage. It looked like a plane crash in a small garage, a 1-story ranch kind of style house, when attached like sunroom, like part of a garage was turned into a sunroom, like 1960s kind of cutesy house. And it was fully involved in one side of it, not 15-foot tall tree flames anymore, and it had started lighting a nearby pine tree on fire. So I edged closer and I edged closer, and they were putting out the hot spots and trying to make entry into the garage. They couldn't open the door from the inside of the house, and there's just wreckage in there. I talked to one of the neighbors, and he goes, "Yeah, that was a huge explosion." And everybody was okay. I edged toward the cop and I said, is somebody in there? Is there a skeleton in there, like in either of the cars? And he goes, "Oh no, they ran." I said, "I'm sorry, what? How did somebody survive that?" Luckiest dog in the world. I've got pictures of it. Somebody wants to see this someday. Not right now. We got 2 minutes until this red flag expires, and then I'm gonna order my food. Countdown. But I said, "What do you mean everybody's alive? Like, I can't even tell if that's a car in there." He goes, "It ain't a car in there. It's two." I have no idea. I mean, there's a phrase: "God watches over fools and drunks." I'm in Portland. Hey, Dennis, welcome. Have you been here before? We go live during wildfires and track them to see if we need to help anybody with evacuation, knowing where to go, what to do, fire survival advice. Subscribe if you want to know when we go live. And anybody with a thumbs up right now, that'll help us also reach people. Remember to like if you will be so kind. Oops, I hit Creepy Smoky again. Let's look at some cams. The cop was like looking at me like, here I am. I was just like, I was really edging closer, going, oh my god. He goes, there's two cars in the garage. It was a one-car garage. No. Okay, where'd my cams go? There we go, Northern California. So, oh wow, a nice little sunset. This is where the camera burned over. This is the Wild Frontier. I see why not much was active today. You know, clearly the Oregon red flag weather tried to enter California and was stopped at the border and because they had fruit, turned away. They didn't want to give up the bananas. Yeah, I'm sorry, Cogito, that you have to go through that. That's the part of the job I wouldn't want to, you know. It's like I'd love to be a murder investigator. I mean, I thought back in the day, and then I actually realized I'd have to see dead people. And okay, never mind. That's only glamorous on TV. I would like to help solve murders, but not that. So let's look at the other cams. Yeah, that was a rotate mode. This is high dive. But no, in reality, I think that the smoke just sat there. And for some reason, just wasn't. Oh, it's much less active. The smoke probably just, in the cold temperatures, is kept fires from doing anything. Now this is a 30-minute time lapse, so it is active on the Wild Frontier 1. Nothing like what we were seeing. I wonder if the wind is picking up in Delaware County. Or, oh, it was just daytime invisible. Okay, as soon as it flips into infrared, you're going to see the spots over here and here. But anyway, the rest of the story is I was too timid. I felt like a jerk filming. But these days, I wanted to help the person recover. And if you have a compelling and sad image, you can help them with their Kickstarter, whatever they need. Because when people see what happened, they care. A story is just a story. Plus, all opinions have changed. If you feel like a jerk whipping out your cell phone and filming a fire, do not. Now, fire departments want you to submit the footage because they analyze it and they see how they could have improved. Like if a firefighter arrives, gets water on a fire, if the whole unit gets water in the fire 15 seconds sooner than the last one, like they're like, yes, improvement. This is when minutes count. So if they improve their response time by a new efficiency pointing out, hey, Larry, you could have tossed me that tool instead of walked it over. Or, you know what I mean? As he says, feed me. If you can make something 5 seconds faster, this task, that's valuable to them. So they want different angles covered. You are not a jerk as long as you're respectful. Don't sell it to the media or anything weird like that, you know. Record heroism, but not gore, you know. And this is the live view. We'll see it change, but I'm sure we'll see the heat index right here in a second. But you know what? I want to see some sunsets as we're waiting for that transition. Look at Haida. So weird that one's. And the Tahoe sunset ones can be freaking amazing. And we are at 8:04. Let's see if oh, look how beautiful this is. Bulb Jesse 1. 8. It's to an hour. Pilots get to see cool stuff like this. Like we're down there and we think, oh, it's cloudy above us. Pilots are like, woo. Okay, now we can see it. We were lucky. No towns were reached today. We had every ingredient for it, but they just didn't happen. The firefighters pounced on everything. Everybody was fire safe, obviously. Now, the only thing that may have happened was by Wolf Creek, the 78 down there. I don't know if that's suspicious or not. It could have been the suspected arsonist who drove on I-5 yesterday lighting fires. Could have been left over from the morning hours of the 17th or whatever my last stream was. I'm becoming quite deliriously happy. I'm gonna wait a long time, anxious about this. So we gotta hold on till like Thursday. We're gonna get some rain. Wow, look at this rain on this panorama. This is a happy camp. Look at the rain. Now we're gonna go Plymouth County. Or like, well, let's quickly look at 12-hour on the happy camp. Oh God, all the dead trees in the landscape. It's probably the August complex. 2020. Anyway, the story. I put the camera down in the moment that I should have put it up, and that was the poor lady sees the wreckage of her house and her hand. She's held up by her elbows because she's faint, you know. And there's a little wreath that's like half charred on her front door. There's stupid street racers wrecking her home in a blink of an eye. And the wreath is like a Thanksgiving wreath, and it was going to happen in like a couple days. And I realized all of her holidays are just ruined. She's just hanging out one minute, and street racing scum went about 60 miles an hour in a residential zone, about sidewalks, and they were racing towards a T intersection with a house in front, and they collided with each other. One guy spun off to grass and just ran. Like, we're not going to catch you, buddy. Like, you don't know. Like abandoning your vehicle. Now, I thought for sure the other one died. He went, get this, into the garage. And that cop told me that there were 2 vehicles in the garage. I didn't believe it. Like, it didn't look like vehicles. Then they got in there with their flashlights trying to make sure that everything was disconnected with gas from the water heater in the garage, which had, exploded in a gas explosion. And sure enough, luckiest dog in the world, God watches over fools and drunks. That racer, if he had gone straight into this one car garage, there was already inside of it, like a Pontiac, like a sedan. It wasn't a big garage either. What is that? Happy Camp is looking at due south. The Happy Camp camera could be looking at the Happy Camp itself. It's hard to tell anymore. This is just checking things out. Let's see if we get some beautiful Tahoe. Let's get some beautiful Tahoe sunset stuff here. Sigh of relief, guys. Yogi and Boo Boo. Someone said cat had a picnic basket. Yeah, I'm about to order, guys. I'll be excited. I'll let you know what I'm ordering. So if you go to Greater Tahoe region, you choose the camps. The ones facing west over here, like Zephyr. Sometimes you have molten gold sunsets. Let's do a 12-hour. It's got to be crazy lightning here, and then we'll do Plymouth County and Madison County. You guys, sigh of relief. It's now cold out. Like I have to shut the window. The wind died down, and it turned off at 8, like everybody said. Right? Look at the thunderstorms forming over Tahoe. That guy in the boat is like, I'm out of there. Don't get struck by lightning at Emerald Bay. Neat. So I said, I looked closer. If the guy hit head on, he would have rear-ended that car. Just that would be the end of him. He'd have quite a story to tell in hell, though, right? Whoa, look at that sunset. That was a good one. Okay, if you missed it, look at the screen now. Be ready. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, watch that. And watch the play of light and the clouds and the silver platinum sky. Shafts of platinum light. The lake turns to a peach. The sun sets, and there's a moment of iridescent molten gold. And heaven as Lake Tahoe becomes blood orange, peach, saffron, and metallic, indescribable gleaming. Yeah, I thought that would be a good one. Tahoe sunsets do not disappoint. Imagine if this was a 4K camera. This is like a 720. Yeah, nice. We probably have a few others that are that good if they face the correct direction. Snowy Valley, I don't know. It may have been. Is it a rotator? I hope not. Let's try 15. No. 3 hour. Uh, it's near Tahoe as well, but is a lens cap on? Oh wow. It's just completely out of focus. Darn it. Okay, let's see if we can get another good one. We can all relax. Chink your glasses, guys. Take your shots of milk. How about that guy? Oh, it's still in glory, like currently Gloria. Martis Peak, North. Is that looking at Truckee or something? Wow. Yeah, Cogito, big hugs. Cogito was the person who convinced me to do what I do. I was so timid. I'm like, I want to give people their evacuation info, but I don't know if I'm qualified. Yeah, you are. And we'll be here to teach you everything you need to know. Just ask the questions. And he and others took me under their wings, people who, like Sherlock, who knew social media, and other ladies who knew that. Oh, look at this. It's incredible. The sheet raining. The thunderstorms dancing around and spiraling. Oh, those are microbursts. Look out, aircraft. Isn't this incredible? You cannot describe what you see here. Let's do it again. Wow. I was a pro from the start. I'm nothing without you guys. Nothing. I cannot do this alone. I mean it. Thank you, donators, people who share the stream. And it's been horrifying many times. We have made a difference. We are the hero helpers. We are a team. And I should express that a hell of a lot more often. I take for granted. That I think that people know that, but I cannot do this without you. I'm incredibly grateful to mods, people who volunteer their knowledge, just people who pat me on the head, everybody who explains things, support group nature we have, people who monitor. We all have helped each other. I hope that the most out of this, like besides actually saving lives, which we know we have, people have said that. Come in here and say thank you and say that. I decided to do this. I'm so glad you helped me because of the failure of Reverse 911 and all those official systems that break down, and they still break down. Even a place like Hawaii with tsunami warning signs breaks down. We have made that difference, and all together, and that's what I'm most proud of is that we could have a symbol of hope. Like I'm just a multimedia student that didn't finish a degree, who likes computers and gaming and maps and communication and has no life, so I can do this all the time. But no, I've learned an incredible amount. Like I knew how to do defensible space and things, but wow. I'm just repeating this because it's still color. It's still like in progress. Unless it froze. It may have frozen actually. Okay, it froze on that, but what an ideal. I was trying to make it go past this point. I'm sure the already darker than that by now. Whoops. That's mesmerizing. But we can inspire others to make the difference. I can't do this forever. But I was here at Tahoe. Shivers some of these camps. This is when we decided Tahoe needed to be evacuated early, and we got it done. We convinced thousands of people to leave Tahoe early, and if the Caldor had decided to destroy Tahoe, it was just the luck of the wind it didn't. That would have been a mass fatality event because of the yet again botched, too late, day late, dollar short, middle of the night evacuations. They told everybody, even though the fire climbed up here and it meant that Tahoe was at risk, there's nothing to save it. No completed fire lines. Fire won the race. They got out at 6 o'clock meeting. It told everybody they didn't need to evacuate. 28,000 people you don't need to evacuate, and only 3 roads out. Gee, that's about paradise too, except population wasn't quite that big, but 3 roads out. You nuts? And we just said, damn it. I'm calling for the evacuation of Tahoe. All the firefighters in this channel are too. We're in agreement. Whatever. 28,000 people came in here. Not all of them were Tahoe residents. We have people watching from the world. Mods that were trying to moderate chaos. We convinced at least 3,500 to 4,000 people to leave early, as it was when the same night they decided to call for evacuation at 10 p.m. after everybody had gone to bed, taken hearing aids out, turned off the TV. All of a sudden, sheriffs had to try to knock on 28,000 doors to get them to evacuate in the middle of the night. They started it, and guess what? In the morning, it took 8 hours to leave Tahoe, and one by one, each road closed. That could have been a massive fatality event of thousands of people dead just if the wind had been different. Thousands. People think they could jump in that lake and survive. I got news for you. You're sleeping with Frito down there. Was it Frito? Who ended up in the lake in Godfather? You know. But when we get those thank yous for places like Westwood and I'm sorry, the little communities on the coast that we evacuated early before, just because when they did do it right and said evacuate this town, we told people on the stream to do it, and sheriffs and firefighters arrived to neighborhoods that were already packing up, and they said, "Yeah, heard it on Kathryn's channel. Thanks, got it." And they were like, "Wow, that's making a difference. We've done it." I don't know that for fires anybody else has done it. I was astonished and happy to find out somebody does it for tornadoes. You know, like Ryan Hall does it for tornadoes. And I found out his channel was older than mine. I'm like, oh. But I just hit that button. I had no idea anybody does that. I don't know anybody who does it for fire. See a fire scanner, the hero tweets constantly, reports. But who's got people like Cognito here and John Bruno and real firefighters who can give advice to anybody who needs it? You know? Hey, Basic J, hello. We're trying to watch good sunset pics to relax. We have dodged a bullet. I'm declaring victory over the terror. So many bad things could have happened today. We lucked out. People were responsible. Firefighters pounced. Lightning didn't seem to have done much today, even though we had lightning thunderstorms. 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts by Yakima and 10% humidity, and yet nothing. No town burned down today. Woo! We can relax. God, I'm exhausted now. I remember you, Basic J, from somewhere. I don't remember which one. This camera broke. Whoops. Okay, we're gonna come back and look at creepy ass Smokey the Bear too. But I was about to say something else. That's right. We could do the time lapse of Plymouth County because that was where the crazy lightning was too, in Lassen County. At Lake Eleanor, that's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. And all these dang. I mean, you think California has enough cameras? Actually, no. But Oregon's got like 8. You know, come on, we need to get with this program. So let's try Dire Mountain. We saw crazy microbursts off Indian Ridge earlier. I mean, yeah, day and a half ago on the stream. This is actually looking north by northeast. That's a reservoir. That's not Lake Alamo. There's 2 Dire Mountain cams. So the other one, I don't know if it can. Time lapse. But Susanville area is the one that had a mini storm, so we can look at the Antelope cam by Susanville. Well, yeah, there's the action from the heat of the day at 1:30. Boom. Here comes your thunderstorms. I'd give anything to have sound. Fire trucks. Many fire trucks. A medical emergency. But I'm not sure if that's it. Like, they just turned sirens on. Okay, so I'm sorry, the last story I was telling, the street racer, how he survived. He Lucky Dog didn't rear end the Pontiac or whatever vehicle sedan was in that old lady's house that he destroyed by crashing into it. He was tilted ever so slightly sideways. It goes into the one-car garage, and because he was slightly sideways, I could not identify the vehicles. Don't ask me. It looked like an airplane wreck in there. Since he was going slightly sideways, he hit just perfect that car's bumper and went underneath the other car. So if a passenger had been there, the passenger would have been decapitated probably by the bumper of that car inside the garage, and it just shredded that. But the driver was okay, like on the side of the garage. The other car's gas tank explodes. The gas line from the water heater in the garage explodes. And apparently that shattered the rear windshield and he crawled out of it alive with his car underneath the one in a one-car garage. And so the other car, I was like, why is the wreckage so tall? Because 2 cars had burned in there down to nothing, like just some slag, some steel. I struggled until I found the remains of what looked like the area where you put license plates, but the license plates had melted down to running aluminum. There's aluminum running out of the garage, that hot still. And he ran. These idiots ran, left the scene. I will have to try to figure out what happened. But God watches over fools and drunks. You just can't. You know, wow. Smitty says, I always wondered why they didn't use fog more ashore. The coal fires have to wait for help. Smitty, some of the craziest. Okay, the USS Forrestal, craziest documentaries I've ever seen. That chilled me to the bone. And there's a channel called Drachinifel, Drachinel. It's a British dude who does military history and ships. He says what to do when everything is on fire. And that's got that British humor, and so I listened to his and watched his YouTube about it. My eyes were wide open, and I was just freaked out. Apparently, I don't know if it's kamikaze or torpedo. Look, here's the thunderstorm show. Now this is Greenville's off there to the right. That's around Valley Reservoir, where Greenville used to be. But watch the dance of the thunderstorms. Ooh, and day becomes night. Some rain, yes. I was hoping to see actual lightning bolts because they're there on the radar, cloud to cloud at least. But this is a 1 frame every minute time lapse, so darn. And they could still be forming. Let's check my radar. If you guys want to know about the current status of a fire, let me know. We just have no visual. There's still some from Alturas to Portola and Furlong Junction area. There's still some thunderstorms forming. Wow. Okay, I'm going to use the bathroom. And I'm going to order food in this order. And we're going to look at creepy Smokey the Bear. Stuff of nightmares. You know what? That's going to be my Halloween costume. Smokey the Bear with man boobs, human hands, and a pot belly. Yes, I will terrify children. think I should get a "We'll be right back" graphic, and then play Seinfeld themed like slap bass. We'll be right back. You gotta get something around the corner. Be right back. You know what? C Probe could be my DoorDasher. Where is he? Hang on. Is he still at the airport? I missed the Mongolian Grill. God, it's one of the best places in Portland. Okay, we still have thunderstorms at Susanville. They seem quite wet, so I'm not that concerned about Post County or anything. That's when we saw the wet. Now it's time for food. Prioritize. Hey, Desi, hello. Cogito says we have the hazmat storage structures already mapped out, materials and computer printout. Okay, let me try to make contact with C Probe. Let me call. So let's see if we can get a good at all kind of image on anything. Here it is. 2. Oh, it rotates. I bet Quincy Cam had some good thunderstorm activity. Let's check this one out. Is that mill? Cute. Quincy's like the last of the Mohicans now, with lumber mill towns that survive in the Sierras. We almost lost Quincy. Look how dead the landscape is. Stupid PG&E and their fly-fire BS. Yeah, that's when the thunderstorms just balloon at 1:30 in the afternoon. Okay, let me try and make a phone call. I have to do Bluetooth with the phone, so you will not hear me once I connect with Bluetooth. Okay, you can hear me again. Dang it. Dang it. I don't think he connected Bluetooth with his phone. If he's already left the airport, he'll probably just drive all the way back here and not bring me food. I've tried to train him. When you are returning to my neighborhood, you will call me and say, "Hey, buddy, would you like something like a milkshake?" And I would be like, "Oh, why, yes." Because I can't get my milkshake. He took my car to the airport. Oh, if he does this, I'll murder him. All right. So that's right. We're going to look at Black Mount Lass and Cam. Is that new? Ominous? Is that looking over Antelope Lake or something? This will be a good thunderstorm show, I'm sure. Looking west. Okay. He's passing all those restaurants as we speak. I know. I know. I connected his phone to my Bluetooth thing and everything. I bet he didn't even pair it. Yeah, it's true. By any chance, if your stupid iPhone reads messages out loud to you or something, SOS, need food. Call Kathryn. It's a forlorn hope. Okay, then what can we do? Hey, White Dove, hello. Quincy and Mount Shasta smell the same. Where did this conversation go when I just paused, you know? Oh, this is cool. Water droplets in the can. I'm sorry, seizure warning. Camera is freaking out. We got lightning. Did you see that? Watch. Going back. Remember, seizure warning. Look, 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 look. Bam! Lightning. Sweet. Seems generally wet. We're not that concerned. That was the sunset. Look at that when it was in color. Nice. Okay. The Schaefer Mountain. What about the Antelope? Is that still there? Nice, Susanville. See how different everything is? High desert east of the Cascades or the Sierras. Mm-hmm. Hey, Dove, how are you doing? I haven't slept yet, but now I'm going to sleep like a baby. I was wound up too tight today. We had all the perfect conditions for a fast-moving town and racing, four-alarm, messed up situation that did not materialize. Yes. Just going to hold out a couple more days. By Thursday, we'll have some significant rain in the Pacific Northwest again. Jay Cat says, have him make a detour and drive to New York City, go to Midtown and get some takeout from the Mongolian barbecue pit, the best barbecue in the world. They've got locations all over the Portland area. Well, he took my car. You know what? I could break into his place and take his Mustang. I don't know how to drive stick. Oh. And besides, it's this big. It's a clown car. Okay. No. No, he's a good friend, but she's darn he's frustrating. And he comes and goes randomly. He'll be like, I'll be right back. And I'm like, half an hour later, where is Tate? You know. All right. There's nothing but image. Okay, friends, ask me about fires. Other than that, we're going to go into full-on relaxation mode. Well, horror movie mode, actually. Because I had no idea that Smokey got weird. I assumed Smokey the Bear was like a 1930s and 40s thing, and I didn't know they had him in the in-between years. I vaguely recall the 2011 Shane stuff, but I recall, like in Plymouth County, like the Rangers of Plymouth County dressed up as him, and then he'd read stories around the campfire, like the West Shore of Albator, or like Canyon Dam and stuff. There was like kids' activities. They passed out coloring books. It was like going to Disneyland, But nobody could understand. Read aloud the story and say, Smokey likes it, doesn't he? And he'd be like, wave. It's probably a woman like me in there, But it was cute. I had no idea that there was a lot of creepy stuff, though, the in-between where Smokey is within. 6 days ago, nearly 9 out of 10 wildfires are currently caused by people and could have been prevented. Actually, not really. A lot of them are corporation caused. Like if you broke it down, the ones that actually do huge damage and erase towns are mostly PG&E in California. A single corporation. this kind of propaganda is wrong, but we'll fix it. What is this? This is update. This was uploaded 6 days ago. Smokey Bear. I'm subscribed to his channel. They're still making these. Okay, let's watch this. Wow.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure.
What?
Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check.
Oh, okay. Phew, I thought Smokey had a sex change. Okay. It's like the other one is creepy. I guess they're still going with 2011 theme of you can be Smokey, get your Smokey on or whatever. But they should explain that because that was all kinds of weird. What was in my coffee? Okay, let's go back.
Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Oh, okay. If you're gonna do a female
Your
Smokey,
toe chains are-
I think that's cool. You have oh god, it's creepy. Human teeth. Human teeth. Okay, this is why Sonic the Hedgehog almost failed. Because did you guys see the controversy with the original Sonic the Hedgehog? You've seen it all now. Yeah, we're all on drugs apparently. Like, what was in my coffee? Are you guys seeing this too? That Smokey the Bear talks in a woman's voice and has female. That's a very suggestive glance. Oh! She doesn't have a bra on. She's got hairy. Oh. Okay. Okay. It's really so. Ew. Oh. No. I can't say these words. I'm gonna get banned. Oh. It's just contours and it's sort of. But what? It's 2 sets. I thought bears had only 2 cubs, so they only have 2. They're not like a pig, right? It's not. If we were to feel around in there, would we find 4? Okay, not that I want to do that. Okay, I retract that statement. What is going on here? Hi, I'm a quad boob female bear that just stopped your vehicle in the middle of nowhere. Trust me. Will you get out of your vehicle, sir? Please, check me out.
You need some help?
He asks if she needs some help. No, sir, you're gonna need some help. Like, keep driving.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose.
Your toe chains are a little loose. I'm gonna try that at the bar. Look at his girl. Like, presumably that's his girl. She's like texting or something. Lady, wake up! She looks up and screams. Saddle tramps as a female bear as a sow. Okay, but they just have 2, right? They're not like a pig. I mean, pigs have 6. Or do they have 8? I know sow does not mean pig, but yeah, it's boar and sow. I know that. Jeez. Yeah, everybody knows that, dude. Look at this disinterested chick. Like, you gotta pay attention to your man and keep him out of trouble. Like, don't stop. Okay, you see this in the woods. Don't stop. Do not stop. Oh, look at her pants. Her pants.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Oh yeah, please do. Look at his face. She's still not looking up. Look at his eyes. Lady. Oh boy. Okay, what time is it? How adult can we be? It's 8 o'clock. We can't do this yet. I didn't know it was gonna go here. I didn't expect this next level creepiness. This is uploaded 6 days ago. This is our tax dollars at work. Oh god, I'm dying. Friends, call 911. I'm gonna die. Okay, since I'm doomed. Just put it on my tombstone. She has 4. She has 4. Oh, he wants to know all about that toe chain. What would Theodore Roosevelt say? Oh my god, he was the only confirmed mad president we ever had, man. Teddy would have said we should have shot him. Oh, you just got here, Allie? What if you walk in on this is your only chance to escape? Okay, you won't be able to unsee this, okay? I'm warning you. In 5 seconds, I'm going to replay it, okay? Was Teddy crazy? Okay, the fact that Robin Williams played him perfectly to a T at Night at the Museum is all you need to know. I mean, he was outnumbered 8-1 or whatever, and charged up the hill. I mean, first of all, he volunteered for the Spanish-American War in Cuba. It's when we tried to steal Cuba from the Spanish. How did we even botch that? Cuba would have been the awesomest state, man. Dude, I'd relocate there. Okay, but his Rough Riders are insane hussars, basically, of the modern era. They're the light cavalry that rushes the enemy before they can reload their cannons. And so they take all the first and second and third waves of cannon hits and just charge with swords and pistols. And they charged up a hill, and that's what he was famous for, and somehow they took it. Probably because he was screaming like Xena Warrior Princess the whole time, going, ah, la, 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 la. And the Spanish just probably fled in terror. San Juan Hill, that would be it. It's a cool movie or something about it. Okay, so I'm not even going to give you context. That's right. If you're still here, woe be ye. That's all I'm going to say.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure.
Sure. Lady, look up. Your man's being poached. Really, this is fair game. If you're not even paying attention, okay? I would suggest if you start itching down there, you ask him some questions. Yes. I'm sure she has fleas, but oh my god.
Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com.
Are we all on acid?
They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Is he on acid?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Smokey lives within us all. But there's
Your toe
4.
chains are a little.
Okay. And then she has human teeth. What would kissing that be like? I mean, there's 4. I'm pretty sure bear have 2. You know? Yeah, don't trust the werebear, especially when it stops you in the middle of the woods and says, hey, I'd like to show you how to step out of the car, please. I'd like to show you something. Yeah, okay. So Jake, earlier, okay, this is how this all started. I said that I wanted to make a meme joke, like we could do Chinese imitation Smokey the Bear, and he would be a panda bear, right? And then I tried to end my very stressful stream. There was an arsonist running around on a high note with Smokey the Bear, the theme song. I realized I couldn't play it because I might get ads on the video. Because if it's over 6 hours, I can't edit out that, and I don't want it. So I said, okay, guys, there's a very funny commercial, and I scrolled, and I went, what in God's name is that? Here's the...
Really?
I mean, okay, would you open this door? Your neighbor just transformed into a werebear.
Really?
Either that or that's the magic peephole, you know? It's a portal to another dimension. Aslan's been replaced. There was a fight for dominance in this one. The forces of darkness won. just, why would you open this door?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just there was a I had just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point. There's smoky.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And so we realized he's terrifying. He's got man boobs. And so I just broke down because here when he's a man, he's got two. He's got two. He has human hands, human fingernails. And she has 4. That's not anatomically correct. It's a nightmare. We're in the Twilight Zone. This is terrifying. This is the costume of kids needing therapy. And bears do not have pointed ears. But he has man hands, a pot belly, and man boobs. And yeah. And so I said the new one has 4. So, and human teeth. Okay, let's look at his teeth.
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out.
The dentition has changed. See, that's also human. Didn't they understand that Sonic the Hedgehog was about to bomb in theaters because it was so freaky? Sonic the Hedgehog. People reacted to the trailer with abject horror. The movie controversy. I mean, it's supposed to be a kid's thing. And so originally everybody reacted and went, why does he have human teeth? There was just something incredibly creepy about it. He didn't look like that in the games. That's just so not a hedgehog. It was almost like level of cringe that Mike Myers was the Cat in the Hat. That was terrifying. And so they scrambled and redid him for the entire movie. Like with competent artists this time. So I think, you know what? We now found out where the fired artists of Sonic the Hedgehog went. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. We have truly crossed into the Twilight Zone. And then there's the Nicolas Cage version that somebody made Sonic. Because he's not frightening enough. Sonic the Hedgehog, Nicolas Cage. That'll haunt your dreams. So one of my friends hates Nicolas Cage. Like, hey, let's watch a movie. He goes, "There's Nicolas Cage in it." Well, just for a no. So I'm gonna get him a pillow with that on it and mail it to him. Mm-hmm. Yep. So it just we found out just how freaky because I was trying to cheer everybody up and I utterly failed. Everything I clicked on was freaky. I knew there was a couple of versions of Smokey that were just kind of, well, child terrifying. Okay, this one does not look so bad anymore. These are all non-copyright, right? Smokey is within friends. Oh God, there's more.
Be right there.
This is new.
Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown,
Oh no, she's
stir,
back.
drown, feel.
Oh.
And make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
She only has 2 in this one.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember?
Okay. What is going on here? What's wrong with her stomach? It's just a parasite action. But does she have the human hands?
Drown.
Okay. See her lips. Look at her lips. Like that look on his face. Oh my God.
Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel.
Oh, this is borderline seductive. Okay. Like, you're just hanging out with your girlfriend and all of a sudden she's that. She's got little lips. Oh yeah, the campers are way too many shrooms. Look at them. You can tell. What was this uploaded? 6 days ago. It's their new campaign. God, I'd say hold her down. We need iron. Put it in the fire till it's red hot, just in case. Remember, friend, don't let her fool you. Don't look into her eyes. It's not her anymore. It's not her anymore. Do we have silver? No. So just get the hammer. Okay, iron through the heart works too. What if it doesn't? Well, she doesn't turn back into a human. Run! But don't you know bears can outrun a horse? Oh God, just look at that. Don't say that, just don't look back. Oh my God. So, oh God, this is the 1952 thing. Look how innocent it is.
Wildlife to hunt and to take pictures of. We should all be thankful for our forests. Now, I'm going to sing a song about someone who lives in the forest all the time and loves it the way we do. First, Pierre, come over here. Yes, but Pierre is going to help me out with my song.
Okay.
Ready, Pierre? And now for my song. It's called Smokey the Bear.
Where's their Frenchman?
With the ranger's hat and shovel and a pair of dungarees.
Oh God, I want the 50s back, man. I didn't even experience them, but I somehow want them back. I mean, I wish everybody had the experience of white people in the 50s, that's for sure. But wow. What is this? '50th anniversary of Smokey? Okay.
Remember when Smokey first came to teach us? He was just a cub in those days, you know. Let's sit down over here.
Sounds good.
Muppets! Oh, please tell me Jim Henson was involved. No? Oh, they're kind of low quality.
No, it's blowing soft.
Is that a hawk? Okay, this is a terrible idea. That's a human hand in that rabbit, and that's a real hawk. They didn't think this through, did they?
And then it began to blow a little harder.
I'm sorry. What have you joined? I don't know. This is wrong with the country. And this is wrong with me, certainly. I must have been exposed to this at a very young age. There's an owl over there. This is a fake set and a fake tree. Oh my God.
People do that.
The animals, they run as fast as they could, but not everyone made it.
Oh God. The animals are talking about how some of their friends burn in the forest. This is exactly what's wrong with me. This has been confirmed. And now what's wrong with the next generation is they're seeing seductive Smokey the Bear females trying to coax their dad out of the car with 4 nipples. Oh, okay, that's too dark for kids. What is this about? Oh, I didn't know how dark this was going to get. I just thought there were a couple of creepy versions of Smokey. Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. Smokey, the animated horror short. Okay, that's fan art. Okay. The real stuff is worse than the horrifying fan art. Like, I bet you, right? Yeah, that's pretty tame compared to these. What the ad council's pumping out now? You know, maybe he's too scared now to commit and to be careless with fire. And maybe is that the new thing? What would he just attack? Oh my God! Spooky just took him out with the shovel. It's a weapon. Run! 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 Wouldn't it be ironic if he lit a forest fire because Smokey is trying to kill him? Just kill it with fire. Wow. Okay. Whoa now. Smokey the Bear, Careless Bears in the 80s? Okay, this will guarantee to be creepy. Oh.
What a lovely day for a picnic.
How about that spot over there?
Perfect.
Wow, I want to climb that tree. Come on, hurry up.
Junior, you be careful.
And stay where I can see you, dear.
Let's go over here.
You bring the basket.
I've got it. We can build the fire right here under this tree.
Isn't this nice?
I'll go get some firewood.
I just wanted to eat.
Don't get lost. We're going to eat soon.
They're wrecking the
Are
place.
these hot dogs done yet? I'm
Just
hungry.
about ready, dear.
I'll put a little more wood on this fire. We don't want it to go out.
You watch where you're throwing that thing.
This must be Tahoe. This really happens there. You know, the bears come into your house and they're like, we'll be here for a bit, man. I'll be in your yard.
Hadn't we better get started for home?
Yeah, it's getting late.
Is he on hooch? Is he drinking out of a jar?
Hadn't we better get started for home?
Yeah, it's getting late.
Come
Oh,
along now,
that is-
Junior. It's time to go.
Papa, what about the fire?
I'll forget it. It'll go out by itself.
You wouldn't want bears to be careless with fire in your home. So don't be careless in theirs.
Wow. I don't know. From what I've seen, it's like it's a forbidden zone. Oh God, what is this? Smokey Bear turns 70 and gets a makeover. CBS Mornings. 9 years ago.
He goes to work in blue jeans and utters only one sentence, but his message is loud and clear. Only you can prevent wildfires. Smokey Bear just turned 70 and his image is getting a reboot. With much of the West in a drought, Ben Tracy shows us how Smokey's job is as important as ever.
If you really want to mess with Smokey Bear, give him a cake full of fire for his birthday. Despite the evil eyes, these days Smokey is more often seen giving bear hugs. And at 70, he's definitely not looking his age.
Has Smokey had some work done?
Smokey has had a little work done. His costume has been updated. He's got a great, fresh look.
Peggy Conlin is president of the Ad Council, the organization that has overseen Smokey's image from the beginning.
So this is amazing to me that this has lasted
This is where it all went wrong.
for 70 years. How
Wait a second.
iconic-
No. This, not her. I mean, you can see how creepy that one is. Like, I'm looking at you. I see you.
So this is amazing to
And then now he's on crack. It's the progression. You know what this is? This is the Faces of Meth, Smokey the Bear edition.
me that this has lasted
Wow.
for 70 years. How iconic is
The madness is going on for more than 70 years. Oh, this looks creepy. Let's check this one out. 1952.
Hello, folks. Do you remember lonesome road, and that phrase, hang down your head and cry, I think applies especially to any person whose carelessness with a fire in the forest results in the destruction of vitally needed timber and valuable watershed lands.
What? Hang your head in sorrow, the timber's gone. What? Oh yeah, it's the 50s.
Certainly no road is more lonesome and desolate than a road through a burned-over, blackened, and ugly forest. Look down that lonesome road. Hang down your head and cry.
Wow. They didn't even mention like animals. Like, oh, that poor timber. Oh, what is this?
Hello, tree.
Trees are everybody's friends. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Okay, that was creepy.
Hello, tree.
Trees are everybody's friends. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Oh my god. Okay, so there's a reel of this. I need to get off this ride. Oh yeah, here's Rod Serling, because we're in the Twilight Zone.
This is the Morgan family coming home from the lake. Ed and Marilyn have been married 12 years. That's Kelly, Sue, and Casey in the back seat. They've driven this road a dozen times before, and nothing ever happened. But today is different. Today, Ed will become a killer. And here's his weapon.
Whoa!
But today is different. Today, Ed will become a killer. And here's his weapon.
Damn.
Good old Ed Morgan. A mighty careful man in his own home. He can't imagine how anyone could have been so careless. Ed Morgan, every man. Anyone who handles fire in any form is a potential killer. Anyone can start a fire and never even know it. Please be very careful with fire. Please. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Oh god, Rob was a man. I should have led off with that, and then the theme would have been complete. The bomb ad console. There's a nuclear bomb version? 69? Holy crap. That's the Trinity test. Whoa. I don't know what that one is.
We destroyed 10,000 square miles of America last year. That's more land than 90 hydrogen bombs were destroyed. But nobody dropped any bombs. Forest fires destroyed our land. Some were started maliciously, but most of them were started by carelessness, by people like you and me. The growing back is slow. This year, use your head. It's all we've got to stop the destruction.
Wow. I think I would have led off with the trees and then ended with the bomb. Wow. Smokey Bear, the deadliest of animals? 1969?
The deadliest animal in the forest isn't the biggest, or even the strongest. The deadliest animal rarely travels alone. It fears the darkness, but it's cunning. It strikes without a moment's notice. Each year, 9 out of every 10 forest fires are started by these animals.
Smokers.
The deadly ones. The ones with the brains.
Yeah, because, when I walk around at night in the woods, I disturb the nocturnal squirrels on the ground. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. I have to actually order food before restaurants close because I think I've been abandoned. I think C-Pro has abandoned me. So, okay. You have a good night, Mom. Aw. Okay. All right, guys. I don't know where we just went, but I'm glad we're back. What a trip. Never again. Whatever you just gave me, never again. Yeah. Are we still in the 60s? Keep rewinding. We need to go back further. The 50s were better. The 50s were better, I'm pretty sure. That's what they say. Oh god, there's even more scary stuff. 96 different. Okay. My comment is just, turn back, ye. All ye who may be intoxicated. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. Wow. Okay, looking back at the chat. ACB says auroras are banging tonight. Oh, we were at in the Northern Hemisphere. Whew. Whew. Okay. Is there like a Canadian webcam where you can see it too? Because I need to relax somehow. I thought that would be fun. I thought it would be fun. All of a sudden, there's puppet show kids and Rod Sterling and the puppet animals are explaining how their friends didn't make it out to kids. Like, oh god. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's me. Okay, that's even freakier. Jeez. Okay, sunset. Let's stay calm. Let's stay calm. Okay, I'm gonna get some food now. What do you guys do to stay calm? This explains what's wrong with the children, though. Oh my boy. I like that place in Iceland with the glass ceilings. Isn't it like a ice hotel? Is Uber Eats still around, or like, which one's better? Is DoorDash better? I've never done that. I think I've couponed somewhere. Da, 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 da. Somebody's got to deliver right now. Okay, I mean, there's always pizza. Yeah, surreal. I don't know about that. I need to come down off that. John Stoker, were you watching that madness? Ooh, I'm gonna timestamp that. So you can't make this up. You can't describe this the next day. You just can't. What happens here? Maybe you should stay here. Whoa. Whoa. Smitty says, I think it was Upshot, the famed mannequin footage test. I don't think there's a test called mannequin. Yeah, the no onions, exactly. ACB says I'm too far to the south of Pennsylvania. Okay, I was lost in the Sierras as a child. At summer camp, people were incompetent, and we should not have been left alone with this man. And we got lost in the mountains and began to starve, and one night the sky turned purple. I was trying everything as a kid to procure food. I tried to kill a marmot and eat it with rocks. I tried to spearfish, trout. I collected berries but then chickened out because somebody said they're poison. I don't know if I was hunger hallucinating. The sky was purple, moonless night. But it actually could have been the northern lights when they do occasionally come down this low to these latitudes. You can see them in the mountains, not because of city lights. It just looks like a purple sky at first, and it's just like that. But I have no idea if I was hunger hallucinating. I now understand the spirit journey. I went on a involuntary one. Oh, yeah. Okay, but friends, I'm not sure what we would do. I would order food. It would arrive. But I think it's time to actually sign off for rest. An earthquake just occurred. That was that beep was. 4.5 has occurred 1 mile north of Diablo Grande, California. West of Modesto. At a depth of 5.6 miles, 4.5. Yeah, I've just got a radius on California. Let's see. It's called My Earthquake Alerts. Free and everything is pretty good. Actually shakes the phone, does a good job of alerting you. Okay. Gets your attention. It's a little kind of weird. Like I'd like to scroll and sort by things. It doesn't really have those options, but if you need to know like what just happened, you know. These are the Del Norte cam. Mind you that fire's been like that for weeks, maybe a month. It's the one that doesn't seem to be a factor, either pilot or the 3.9, but it's only something we have on the cams. I would like to have seen some birds today. No, the test wasn't mannequin, the footage of the dummy near the windows. Oh, I know that one. I made a project. For one of my final projects in video editing, I did a nuclear test video, music video to really creepy music. And I know all about that one. So the high definition restored, I carefully cut out, because these are non-copyright. All nuclear test footage is a work of the government. But William Shatner was in this weird movie called Trinity and Beyond. So I believe it was Trinity, and it is not the same mushroom cloud. The one that was stubby like that, keyhole shaped, is different. That is Nevada desert, I believe. But he had a nice, elegant, proper skinny mushroom for Trinity. So we could try to figure out which one it was. I know some of them by heart, like Delta Echo Bravo, and the ones that had accidents. Wasn't it not Delta Echo Bravo something was the one where they took the World War II ships and blew them up, and one of our cruisers or something is in the column. It was a bikini test, I think. Colorized, it's amazing. Colorized ocean nuclear test. A lot of people don't know this. I used to know those. It was an underwater detonation, and unfortunately, so many of our troops were told to go clean it up and scrub it. Because the idea was we were supposed to prove to our enemies that our fleet could withstand a nuclear bomb. So don't even try it, mate. That ship has a name. I can't remember which one it was. Operation Crossroads. That is not a battleship, but like a cruiser that's vertically inclined right there. So unfortunately, so many of our troops were exposed. And the cameraman, it shows them just cranking and reeling, and the shockwave hits him, and all this, hits him. But Colorized was amazing. Almost all of them were filmed in color, and the ones you see in black and white are because they are a black and white film to put in theaters. When people saw them, it was black and white because, it's 40s and early 50s. It takes a while for Technicolor and stuff to really be in theaters. It takes special equipment and but yeah, Crossroads was a series of 5. I think so. Now, the one we screwed up where we miscalculated the load, and we irradiated living people on an island and had to move them away, and still, poor villagers they were so trusting and said, if it helps the war, Cold War then and create world peace because we advertised it as war will end because nobody will want to use these things, right? That worked out. These trusting villagers and people, they said, okay, have some of our islands, just give us these over here. And we miscalculated. The world's smartest people calculated, supposedly, and they got a dose. We also nuked a Japanese trawler at one point. Whoops. But they, I think it still has, they had to put a tombstone over it as a cap in the bikinis. What was the, it was Bravo something. Bravo test accident. I thought it was Delta Echo Bravo. Castle Bravo, excuse me. One of those was a code. Oh, wow. Yeah, it had way too much juice in that. Oh, yeah, that's the golden ring one. The atomic fire. This is in the movie Godzilla, I believe. This is the thing that transforms Godzilla from a happy little iguana, sea iguana in the Galapagos to a, you know. That's one that was beautiful. And so my little music video film shows them handling this into place. And yeah, it's pretty awesome that they restored the film. Some of them were so damaged. You'd think they would keep this in perfect condition. Some of them were so damaged. They're still pretty messed up. Some of my favorites are the ones where they shoot the rockets up because they're using the smoke trail as a way to measure the speed and time, like at the rate of climb and stuff. They're beautiful, but everything deadly usually is. So the primary system, blah, 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 was what about the accident? I think this is the one where they just took the island it detonated on and just poured a concrete tomb, and it was like a precursor to Chernobyl. The fireball is unbelievable. The device was mounted in a shot cab on an artificial island built off the reef of Namu, in Bikini Atoll. A sizable array of diagnostic instruments were trained on it, including, this was one where the high-speed cameras were there, so the slow motion is incredible. The high-speed cameras trained to an arc of mirror towers around the shot cab. The detonation took place on March 1st, 1954. When Bravo was detonated, within 1 second it formed a fireball 4.5 miles across. This fireball was visible in Kwajalein Atoll over 250 miles away. It left a crater 6,500 feet deep in diameter and 250 feet in depth. The mushroom cloud reached a height of 47,000 feet. A diameter of 7 miles in about 1 minute, a height of 130,000 feet, and 62 miles in diameter in less than 10. I was expanding at more than 100 meters per second. That's the what have we done moment. As a result of the blast, the cloud contaminated more than 7,000 square miles of the surrounding Pacific Ocean, including some of the surrounding small islands like Rongerik or Ragnalap and Utirik. I don't know how to say these. In terms of energy released TNT equivalents, Castle Bravo was 1,000 times more powerful than Hiroshima, which was Fat Man, right? I don't know if Little Boy was Nagasaki. People don't realize those two were dropped on Japan within a week. We didn't give them a whole lot of thinking about it time. Castle Bravo is the 6th largest nuclear explosion in history, exceeded only by the Tsar Bomba Test 219, and the others Test 147, 173, and 174, and the Soviet test in 1962 at Novaya Zemlya. I have no idea what this is. I can't see straight. The yield of 15 megatons was triple of that. I'm sorry, I have to I just realized I'm hungry because I haven't eaten much today. But it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. So they tried to evacuate people, but they were horribly burned and everything. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't want to show that. But look at the crazy, frightening, terrifying beauty of it too. Like, damn. Yes. Well, I hope we never see their like again. Like that's the crater relative to the atoll. Okay. So I thought they would show its death cap thing, the tomb, Bikini Atoll. They had to make it hurricane proof. The cap, uh, giant concrete dome thing. Well, that's the Marshall Islands. Okay. Putting the nuclear coffin in perspective. You can walk on it. I wouldn't not walk on it. If it was leaking, you never know unless the crackling sounds, you know. I would not walk on that. Okay, so I'm too. Okay, now I'm disturbed again. What was I trying to do? Okay, I was just trying to say that I made a music video to it, and it was quite creepy. But it was a Nevada test that has the mannequins and all that. And you know what? Say what you want. It was a terrible movie, the latest Indiana Jones. No, the Crystal Skull one. I mean, not the latest one. The Crystal Skull one. That was amazing and funny, where he survives by getting in a. Indiana Jones finds himself inside the Trinity test area, or one of those, and he sees a house full of mannequins. He's like, "Why are there mannequins in this house?" And he hears the countdown. He gets in the fridge, and the fridge blasts out of the window of a house and goes skipping along the Nevada desert. And he survives it. That was a meme. And people didn't like the movie because they thought that was unrealistic. Well, no, duh. But that's one of the funniest things ever filmed. Like, Spielberg still has that. Like, Indiana Jones detonation. I don't like the rest of the movie, but that was awesome. It's like, what? Huh?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute. Howdy doody. He's like, why is this tail fake? Huh? Uh-oh, a radio flyer.
Oh, that can't be good.
Yes.
Goggles or turn away. Do not remove goggles or face first until 10 seconds after first light.
Oh, that can't be good at all.
That will be like totally copyright, whatever. But this is just awesome. And they melt and stuff. But it launches the fridge he's in, like it skips along. He gets out. He's like, this is just a meme, dude. Just enjoy it. Oh, he turns around and sees the mushroom cloud. It got cut. Oh man, that's what I'm going to show you guys. Like boom. The paint sucks off the houses first. You know, so this is all CGI. It looks pretty fake. They needed more time on this. It's just needed better color schemes. Who wants a pastel nuclear explosion? Come on. Like there's the flash. Is that asbestos floor tile? It is. We had asbestos floor tile in our 7th grade science class area. And the first thing our teacher said is, please don't slide your chair back when you get out of it. And we went, huh? He goes, the floor is made out of asbestos. He just went, what? And he winks at us. Is he for real? And absolutely, though. That's supposed to be fireproof. And, you know, it looks like that. So when people go ghost towning and they walk in abandoned buildings, do urban exploration stuff, one of the hardest things to teach them is recognize asbestos, please. Like fluffy brown stuff that looks like cottage cheese, brown cotton. If the ceiling's been pulled down and it's on the floor, you're walking through the asbestos ceiling insulation, man. Sometimes it's under floors. Scrappers will go and scrap a sink, and they used to spray it on the undersides of sinks. Not worth the iron, man. Anyway, okay, friends, I'll leave you with this happy image. It's at least more soothing. You know, it's a sad day when Smokey the Bear is so frightening that I leave you with this, and it's like, oh, it's a tropical beach. This is a lot more soothing. But it is time for me to order food, chastise Sea Probe if he's not already asleep, and find some good food. And I'll let you know what I had tomorrow. And, oh, I didn't turn off the clock. I'm sorry. You know what happened? Opera crashed. It auto-updated itself. And I failed to notice, but thanks. Oh, it is 9:31. Good night, guys. I definitely need sleep. It's true. You guys do too. I'm so happy. What a terrifying day where the terror never emerged. You know, other than Smokey the Bear himself. I don't know when I'll go live yet next. I just need to order my food, and we'll take it one day at a time. I'll call my therapist as soon as I get some shock therapy so I forget Smokey with 4 tits and seductive female voice and human teeth, but female lips and man hands and a pot belly. As soon as I forget the topless, cross-dress, sex-changing Smokey the Bear, I'll be back. I'll be back. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the donations. Please hit the like button. If you haven't unsubbed already, then you should consider, like, there's no going back from here, actually. Totally, save yourselves. Joe Johnson says, we use dummies here and they walk around everywhere. Yeah, RB, I don't know what you walked in on, but run while you can. So good night, friends. And good luck. Yeah, you didn't see that? November 6th golf, Mike Lima. You definitely don't rewind. Don't rewind. But apparently Smokey the Bear is a female now and topless and never 4. Never 4. I don't know, it was about an hour ago. No, I'm gonna clip it. It's gonna be a highlight of the channel. Okay, it's Bear Urine, the memes on the channel. I'm a lizard person. I want to believe in the moon. And she has 4. Oh, okay. The United States government has a new method of torture for Al Qaeda, and that's just endlessly playing the new ad council reel. Yeah, she has 4. All right, thanks for being here, friends. I have to go to sleep. I need a sedation, and hopefully I can come back from the madness. But it's too soon to tell. I've been awake a long time. We had red flag, and now it's thank God. Nothing big erupted. We could be crying right now, guys, but we're not. Yes. Walk on 2 legs, not on 4. That is the law. 4 legs bad, 2 legs good. Only cool cats will get that reference. Daddy-o. All right, friends. Good night.